Li Luo isn't some random kid. His folks were the youngest Marquis legends in the Great Xia Kingdom. We are talking major fame, stretching far beyond the borders of their home. He is sharp as a tack and picks up skills faster than his prodigy parents ever did. Honestly, the kid is a straight-up cultivation genius. In this world, most cultivators start with just one palace inside them. You don't get a second one until you hit the Marquis stage later on in your life. Reaching the king rank gives you even more. Now Li Luo is just a 10th seal rookie, which is the stage right after you open your palace. But inside his body, he's actually packing 3 of them. But here is the kicker. Every single one of those palaces is empty. Total blanks. No traits, no power, nothing but a void. 3 blank palaces? That is a dead-end career. Way worse than being broke. To make matters worse, his parents vanished on the battlefield 3 years ago. Nobody even knows if they are still alive or dead. Their estate is a mess and the family name is trashed. Everyone knows the house is divided, making Li Luo's position as young lord pretty shaky these days. Then there is Jiang Qing'e. She is a total rock star with a 9th grade light resonance. Her talent has the entire kingdom absolutely losing their minds. She cruised into the top academy without even needing to take exams. Now she is a major player in the kingdom and the most influential person in the whole province for over 100 years. She is also Li Luo's fiancée. Talk about awkward. While she is a literal goddess, he is just the blank palace loser everyone hates and envies. That was his miserable life until the day he finally turned 17 years old. That is when he gets a mysterious treasure his parents left behind. He tries everything to crack it open, but the thing just will not move at all. But then, a single drop of his blood accidentally smudges the surface of the sphere. It explodes with blinding blue light and hovers in the air, projecting a magic screen. Suddenly, he's looking right at a hologram of his parents. His eyes tear up instantly. They look exactly like the day they left. Hey, little Li, if you are seeing this old recording, you must be 17 years old by now, right? His dad, Li Taishuan, speaks first. Then his mom chimes in, wondering if their son grew up to be a tall and very handsome young man these days. She asks if any girls are chasing him. Then she jokes that since he is a useless pretty boy, he is probably still single right now. Li Luo talks back through his tears, knowing they cannot hear him, but they keep talking like they already knew exactly what he would say to them. They ask if he is feeling down and blaming himself for having those 3 empty palaces inside his own body. Turns out, they knew about his 3 blank palaces years ago. They used a secret technique to check him before they even left home. Li Luo is absolutely stunned by all of this news. They knew all along. Was their disappearance linked to his weird body? And where the heck are they actually hiding right now? He really needs to know. Dad drops a bombshell. Being blank isn't a curse. It is actually the most powerful physique in existence. He should be celebrating instead of crying about it. Li Luo thinks he is just being nice. I mean, he literally cannot absorb any energy from the world around him. It feels completely hopeless. But Dad says there is a fix. Fill those blanks manually. It sounds way too easy, and Li Luo is not buying it for even a single second of his life today. Not at all. Traits are supposed to be natural, something you are born with. He tried to force it before and failed every single time he tried. Mom jumps in, saying the normal way is impossible. It is like they are reading his mind from 3 years in the past right now today. After finding out about his unique condition, they spent every waking moment searching for a way to make it work. Hard work paid off. They found an ancient method called the minor blank soul art. While natural traits are fixed, these ones are totally different because you can build them all yourself. Traits you build yourself can be customized. Usually, people are stuck with just one element their whole lives and can never change. But these crafted traits have dual elements. You can have a main fire trait and add lightning as a secondary boost for power. Fire and lightning together? That is pure destruction. Li Luo feels like he is saved. He gives the screen a huge thumbs up right away. But Dad adds a catch. Nothing is perfect. These artificial traits usually do not start higher than 4th grade when you first make them. Compared to his fiance's god-tier ninth grade light trait, the power gap between them is still pretty massive right now. Dad says do not sweat it. Even if they start low, you can level them up using special treasures found throughout the entire world. Li Luo thinks about those liquids alchemists make, but they have strict limits. Just as he thinks it, his dad lets out a laugh that he remembers so well from his own childhood years. He is totally caught. He asks if Li Luo is worried about those limits. Seriously, it is like they are having a live chat. They know every single thought in his head. Suddenly, Mom snaps at Dad for hogging the mic. She wants her turn to talk to her son right now. Dad backs off immediately. The hologram feels so real. Li Luo feels like he is standing right in front of them. He realizes his fiancée acts exactly like his mom. If they get married, he is definitely going to be henpecked just like his old man. It is a scary thought for him. Mom gets back to business. For normal people, those upgrade limits are real. But for his unique blank body, those rules do not apply at all. He is a truly special case in this whole world. Blank means zero, but it also means infinite. It can hold anything. That is why they call it the strongest trait in the entire world. They used his blood and soul to craft his first trait seed before they left. It is all tucked away inside that sphere along with the secret cultivation method itself. But merging this artificial trait with his body is no walk in the park. It drains a ton of life force. That is why they sealed it until his 17th birthday. His body simply could not handle that level of energy before now in his life. There is one more thing. Merging this artificial trait costs more than just blood, it costs his actual lifespan. He has exactly 5 years to reach the Marquis rank and evolve his soul, or his life ends right then and there forever. So, what is it going to be? Live a safe, rich life as a total nobody, or risk it all to fight the heavens and walk a dangerous path? Choice 1. Close this crystal ball and let everything inside self-destruct. Choice 2. Put your hand right here. It is your call. No matter what, your parents will always have your back. The projection freezes, leaving Li Luo feeling heavy-hearted after hearing that. Live as a weakling or die young. What a choice. Becoming a duke in 5 years means he would be only 22. In the history of the Great Xia, no one has ever reached that rank at such a young age. With the estate his parents left behind, he could live a rich, lazy life forever without any worries. But if he picks the resonance his parents crafted, every second becomes a life or death race against time. It is a tough call, but Li Luo makes his decision fast. He used to think catching up to Jiang Qing was impossible. Now, he finally sees a glimmer of hope. This hope came from his parents. So how could he be a coward and walk away? Li Luo stands up, fired up. Honestly, he has always been ambitious, even if everyone else thought he was just some delusional kid who did not know his place. He wants to catch up to Jiang Qing, surpass her, and even outshine his own parents. Do not worry, I will not let you down. 5 years to become a duke? Challenge accepted. Li Luo is in it to win it. He reaches out and touches the sphere. It explodes with brilliant light and then fades, transforming into the fate-changing resonance. His parents risked everything to create, along with a divine cultivation technique. Sensing their son's decision, his parents let out a long sigh. Little Luo, it looks like you have finally made your move. As your father, this choice breaks my heart a little. But man to man, I love it. I am incredibly proud of you. The road ahead is brutal, but you are my son. You do not get scared by a little danger. Dan Thailand wipes her tears and starts explaining the artificial resonance they worked so hard to build. It is a 4th-grade resonance with water as the main and light as the sub. Li Luo blinks. Water? Did he just hear that right? Li Taishuan laughs. Do you think water is weak, kid? He explains that people underestimate water because it lacks the raw destructive power of other elements. But it is persistent. In a long fight, water can wear down and defeat any opponent. Plus, water has a special perk. It heals the body much better during resonance fusion than something like fire. The synergy between water and light will produce results that are totally off the charts. There's another reason they chose this. Most masters only have water or light. Having both and not becoming a master would be a total waste. If the estate ever goes bust, at least you will have a title and a way to survive anywhere. Li Taishuan looks pretty smug about his master plan. This crystal ball only holds the first resonance and one technique, but Li Luo has 3 resonance palaces. The second and third ones are much more complex. His parents suggest he reach the master rank first, then go find his second resonance on his own. As for the third one, the info is hidden in the royal city. You just need to wait for the right moment to go get it. The projection starts to flicker, meaning the message is almost over. Before it vanishes, his parents give him one last piece of advice. They promise they will stay safe until they finally reunite with him. With those final words, the image disappears. Li Luo rubs his stinging eyes, silently thanking his parents for everything they did. Knowing they are alive is a huge relief. He vows to make them proud. As of right now, he is officially a resonance user. Loud knocking echoes through the quiet night. Li Luo's eyes snap open. Outside, Kai Wei asks nervously if the young master is doing okay. He recognizes the voice. It is Kai Wei, Qingyi's assistant. But wait, what is happening? Why do his legs feel like they have absolutely zero strength? Getting no answer, Kai Wei starts panicking like she is at a checkout counter and just realized she forgot her wallet. She is stressed out, wondering why the young master sounds so incredibly weak and frail. Qingyi sent me to let you know that the pavilion heads have already arrived. Li Luo manages a reply. Kai Wei exhales like she just barely hit a work deadline and rushes off. Meanwhile, Li Luo is stuck thinking about his current, exhausted state. That artificial resonance really drained over half of his life's essence. Even his hair has turned completely silver. He looks in the mirror and sighs. He looks just like a frail old man. Only 5 years left to live? That is heavy. But honestly, he looks way more handsome now. Plus, he can feel a new power surging through his entire body. It looks like the artificial resonance fusion was a success. His blank soul problem is finally a thing of the past. That empty palace caused him nothing but trouble, but it also has its own unique, divine properties. He pushes the door open, letting the morning sun hit him. Time for a new life. The main hall of the mansion is split into 2 sides. The center is empty, with one side completely dedicated to opposing Qingyi. A couple of neutrals are trying to stay out of it. It is total chaos. 3 pavilion heads have been bribed by Bui Hao, while 4 others are still standing firmly behind Qingyi. At the round table, Bui Hao acts all casual and asks where the young master is. Everyone has been waiting forever. He just keeps talking, rambling about how everyone here has been putting their lives on the line for the mansion. He says back when the master and mistress were here, they were always on time for these meetings. It showed they actually respected us. Qing snaps back, asking why he was not this bold when the master was actually around. Bui Hao tries to keep his cool, claiming we all just need to look forward. Since the young master is a no-show, let's just get started. We all know what is going on with him anyway. Any objections? Let's get to work. Suddenly, Li Luo cuts him off. You have gotten way more arrogant since the last time I saw you, senior brother. If my parents knew how successful you have become, they would be thrilled. Li Luo walks in looking sharp, and everyone immediately bows in respect to the young master. Bui Hao's smug attitude vanishes, and he just grits his teeth. Meanwhile, Qingyi is staring. He was fine yesterday. Why is his hair suddenly snow white? Li Luo is still out here roasting Pei Hao. Been a few years, but Pei Hao does not look like the same guy. Even the heavy vibe around him is starting to chill out a bit. Pei Hao takes a shot at Li Luo's fresh dye job, says he is grown up, but man, his face is ghost white and his hair is silver, like he is ready to kick the bucket. That is some serious trash talk. The crowd is basically thinking this guy has got a death wish, or he is just on some crazy energy. Total Red Bull vibes coming from him today. Qing's eyes are burning with pure rage. She is ready to write his name in the death note. Pei Hao just acts like a total airhead, covering his mouth. Sorry, my bad. Guess I am just talking too fast. Don't be mad, little Luo. Li Luo just stays cool and smiles back. Pei Hao's true colors are showing, so why get worked up? Besides, even if I was mad, what could I even do? Pei Hao just smirks and stays quiet. Behind that fake nice guy mask, he is totally gloating, thinking to himself, yeah, Luolan House is not the powerhouse it used to be back then. Without those two big mountains holding me down, I am not scared of anyone here. If it was not for Qing'e, I would have taken over this whole place a long time ago. He is itching to start. Since the young lord is here, can we finally get this meeting going? But Qing'e shuts him down first. Talk about those 3 pavilions you run. Why has not the gold arrived? Pei Hao's face drops. He says, maybe you heard? The warehouses for all 3 pavilions caught fire out of nowhere. We have not found the culprit, so no cash is coming in this year. Qing'e is not buying the act. She just asks, is that really your excuse? Pei Hao. He just shrugs it off. If you need a reason, I will find one. Why ask so many questions? Forget it. Since we are being honest, here is the deal for the young lord and sister. The pavilions are not just skipping this year. We are not paying a single cent from here on out. Ever. Elder Leizhang cannot keep his cool anymore. He stands up and shouts, Pei Hao, are you trying to tear this house down or what? Pei Hao grins like a snake. I do not want it to collapse. Honestly, I could pay the gold. But first, the young lord has to agree to one little condition. Li Luo stays calm. What is the price? His eyes flash with pure malice, like a venomous viper. He checks out Qing'e's curves without even trying to hide it. I want the young lord to cancel the engagement with my sister. Hearing that shameless demand, Li Luo's eyes turn cold with killing intent. Before he can even speak, Qing'e is already vibrating with power. She is absolutely furious, and she is not hiding it at all. She summons her sword and lunges forward with some insane, lightning-fast speed. Pei Hao is still running his mouth mid-fight. Even while she is trying to kill him, he is dissing her. Your gold affinity hit level 7? You must have been draining a lot of house resources. Pei Hao is full of himself. 9th grade light affinity, just like they say. You are in the early Earth manifestation stage, but that is not far behind my late-stage power. Not bad at all, sister. Qing'e snaps back hard. Pei Hao, if you want to keep living, swallow those words right now. Our personal business is none of your concern. You do not have the right to interfere. Pei Hao realizes he cannot talk sense to her, so he turns to Li Luo. You know what they say about a target on your back. This house is a gold mine, and she is untouchable. Li Luo narrows his eyes. So you want me to give up the house and her? You are not worried about the day my parents actually come back to deal with you? Pei Hao just smirks. Li Luo, stop dreaming. Based on the intel I have got, he pauses with a creepy grin. Your master and mistress? Yeah, I don't think they are ever coming home again. Pei Hao shouts it out. You have got no future. You are not even on my level. You have nothing left. Lei Zhang ignores the hot air. He is actually impressed by Li Luo. The kid might have been born without a spirit, but his mental game is strong. Li Luo does not take the bait. He just asks the question on his mind. My parents did so much for you. Why do you hate them? Pei Hao goes quiet for a second. His face darkens. They knew I wanted to be a real disciple, not just some name on a list. I worked my tail off for this house, but they never said the word. Do you have any idea how much that hope turned into pure bitterness? It was exhausting. Li Luo just shrugs. My parents were right. You are a snake. Giving you more power would have just fed that massive ego of yours. They saw exactly who you were from the start. He sneers back. You should worry about yourself, kid. Greed has a price, and you do not have what it takes to pay it. Li Luo glares at him. Pei Hao, right back at you. Pei Hao just laughs it off with a half-open eye. Whatever. From now on, whether the 3 pavilions follow orders depends entirely on my mood. Everyone else in the room is giving him death stares. Pei Hao looks around and mocks them. What? You want to fight? Besides my little sister, none of you here can touch me. Not even close. Lei Zhang hates to admit it, but the guy is at the late Earth manifestation stage. Most of us are only mid-level. Pei Hao starts digging in his shirt for something. Everything I do is just to keep Luolan House standing tall. If Qing'e would just team up with me, we would reach a whole new level. But right now, the young lord is just being way too greedy. He finishes and holds up a command token. I am not stopping here. Lei Zhang's eyes go wide. Is that Elder Mo's official command token? No way. Besides the main branches, there are 3 elders. All of them are heavenly stellar masters. They only step in for outside threats and are supposed to stay neutral. But now, Pei Hao has one of their tokens in his hand. Pei Hao explains calmly. Years ago, the master said if you have support from 2 elders and 4 pavilion heads, you can compete for the top spot. So do not worry about me splitting the house. I want the whole thing. Everyone starts shouting in rage, cursing him out. But Pei Hao just turns it. Listen, Li Luo, cherish this last year. Once the estate is dissolved, you have no claim to the house of Luo. By then, you will truly have nothing left. Li Luo stayed silent, knowing that ignore mode is the ultimate disrespect. After Pei Hao left, the mood was totally trash, but Qing Yi stayed cool. She settled things with the 6 lords before everyone finally took off. Li Luo sat alone in the leader chair, lost in thought. Qing Yi stood there quietly like a loyal partner, making the whole scene look like some kind of dramatic movie moment. She spoke up first. She looked calm on the outside, but she was low-key fuming. Li Luo flashed a charming smile and asked why she was catching an attitude. Qing Yi narrowed her eyes, still keeping her composure for the cameras. Li Luo admitted that if he could, he would have ended that guy right there to honor his parents' legacy. Qing Yi perched on the armrest and gave him some real talk. Life is not always smooth sailing, and knowing when to play it cool is nothing to be ashamed of. Li Luo chuckled, realizing the mansion was in deep trouble and that the last 2 years had been a total nightmare for her. She closed her eyes and told him not to let that jerk Pei Hao words get under his skin. I will deal with him eventually. I just need time. We had a deal, and I will hand over a perfect estate to you. Right now, focus on next month's exam. If you do not get into the Sage Academy, our whole agreement is completely off. But that is not going to happen, so just talk to me when you are ready. Li Luo waited for her to finish, then reached out affectionately and asked for her hand. She stayed quiet, not saying a single word, just giving a soft nod while they quietly held hands. Suddenly, a massive surge of power hit her. Thong Nga was totally stunned, doubting her own senses. She asked if he finally unlocked his resonance. Seems like the gift from his master and mistress actually did the trick. Li Luo just gave a cool nod, letting his silence do the talking. Thananga finally relaxed. That was huge news. But then, Li Luo asked how much she actually trusted that guy's intel about his parents. She took a beat to think before answering. They are probably just tied up right now, but otherwise totally fine. I have no clue where that intel came from, but how would he even know how powerful your parents really were? Hearing that made Li Luo feel a whole lot better. She just flashed a grin and said she was heading back to the royal city tomorrow. She told him she hoped their next hangout would be at the St. Xuanqing Academy. The next day, Li Luo was right on time to see her off. He watched her leave and then turned to Uncle Lu, asking to skip school for a week to just chill at home. Uncle Lu agreed, calling him young master. Then he asked Taivi to help him buy some level 4 spirit liquids. Taivi had a million questions. Li Luo was born without any resonance, so what was he planning to do with that stuff? Still, she kept it professional and asked how much he needed. Li Luo grinned like a mischievous little cat and said to buy 50 first. Hearing that number, Taivi started stressing out and had to double-check what he meant. 50 at NT? FD units of level 4 spirit liquid? He just nodded like it was no big deal. Taivi went quiet, her mind racing. That stuff is not cheap. 1 bottle of level 4 spirit liquid costs about 1,000 gold pieces on the market. 50 units would cost 50,000 gold pieces. That is basically the entire Luo Yanhouse trade union budget. Their annual income is 300,000 gold, and things are looking grim. That stuff is for training resonances, but it leaves impurities that eventually gunk everything up. If Li Luo is buying 50 bottles, how many years is he planning to use them for? But Thonanga had already said she got the answer she was looking for. Li Luo just smiled and told Taivi he was counting on her before turning to head out. Watching Li Luo walk away, Tai Vi still felt a massive pit in her stomach. The Luo Yan house is literally fighting for survival right now. The young master seems a bit out of his mind, and life in the Thien Thuc district is about to get way harder. Before long, Li Luo made it back to the old family estate. He was hyped to see if he could find a decent guiding technique to start his training today. The library was packed with guiding techniques and resonance arts the family had collected. Most were moved to the main headquarters in the royal city, but this old house still kept a decent stash. As he walked in, someone spotted him immediately. It was the library manager. He gave Li Luo a respectful bow and called him young master. He mentioned it had been a while since his last visit and asked what he was looking for today. He flashed a smile and told the guy to find every energy guiding technique suitable for a level 4 resonance. The manager nodded, but honestly, he was pretty surprised by the request. The young master rarely stepped foot in the library, and when he did, it was only for resonance arts. Why the sudden interest in energy guiding techniques today? But since he was just a low-level manager, he didn't dare question the boss. He just politely invited the young master to relax for a bit while they headed into the archives together. After finishing the search, he came back to report. He pointed out a massive pile of documents that fit the level 4 energy guiding criteria, even carefully listing out all the data for him. There were 28 beginner sets and 6 resonance level techniques. Li Luo was so happy he almost cried, silently thanking his parents. It looked like he finally found the perfect guiding technique for his training. Energy guiding techniques are ranked from beginner to general, then Marquis, and finally King level. You have to match your training level to the right technique to actually make progress. You can find beginner techniques anywhere, but they only provide mid-level power. If a King-level technique ever appeared, the top powers would literally go to war over it. Our house only has 2 Marquis-level techniques left by his parents. The higher the level of the technique, the more it demands from your own resonance. He told the manager to look for anything he qualified for, specifically something that worked with his water and light resonance. By the time the sky turned gold, he finally took a breather. After scanning everything, he narrowed it down to 3 options. First up was the 9-stage earth-swallowing method, a low-grade general-level technique. Second was the blue mist meditation, and third was the spirit transformation, both mid-grade general level. Having too many good options can be a headache, and Li Luo was definitely struggling to pick the right one. Finally, he locked his eyes on the second option. He made up his mind he was going with the blue mist meditation. Training with this would make his resonance as vast and powerful as the ocean, perfect for his water and light combo. He could always swap it later. Under the library was a secret training room his parents built. Only his parents and Zhangqing Nga had ever trained down there. Standing at the entrance, Li Luo felt a bit hesitant since it was his first time. He reached out and touched the stone pillar by the door. Suddenly, the door started to glow. Li Luo was caught off guard and let out a gasp. The massive stone door slowly creaked open, flooding the entire room with a blinding golden light. He stepped inside, absolutely floored by what he saw. His parents dropped over 100,000 gold pieces to build this training room entirely out of pure gold. Gold isn't just for spending, it actually pulls in massive amounts of natural energy. This place is a literal gold mine. You can feel the raw energy vibrating in the air here. After saying goodbye to Tai Vi, Li Luo slipped away to this secret spot to start his real work. He realized only his parents and Thonanga had trained here before. He swore to himself that he wouldn't let all their hard work go to waste. He started cycling through his different techniques, focusing on the rhythmic sound of the crashing waves. He felt the massive power of the blue mist as if he were sitting right in the middle of the ocean. As the imaginary waves crashed against him, the surrounding energy began to flow. With every breath, the power started seeping through his pores and straight into his body. The water energy was definitely the strongest. 2 streams of power swirled inside him before settling into his resonance palace. Li Luo grinned, feeling his power finally hitting the level 3 mark. After a while, a sharp pain shot through his body. That was the signal that he had hit his limit for the day, so Li Luo had no choice but to stop training. Sitting in the secret room, he started crunching the numbers. The academy exams are next month, so he seriously needs to level up his resonance grade before then. His main goal is getting into St. Xuanxing. Suddenly, someone came by to tell him that manager Tai Vi had already delivered the supplies he asked for straight to his room. He was seriously impressed with how fast Tai Vi worked. He didn't expect the stuff until tomorrow morning at the earliest. He looked at the delivery. It was the spirit liquid. This stuff is essential for training his water and light resonances. Just like medicinal pills, these liquids are a must-have for any serious cultivator throughout their entire journey. The purer the spirit liquid, the more power you get out of your training sessions. Higher quality stuff has way fewer impurities. That matters because if you use too much of the cheap stuff, those impurities start piling up in your resonance palace. It usually blocks the resonance palace, but since Li Luo was born without a resonance anyway, he doesn't have to worry about any of those side effects. First, I will absorb all 50 bottles of this grade 4 spirit fluid to see how much it helps. The results are legit, but hitting grade 5 is going to take another 100 bottles of the good stuff. Grade 4 to 5 costs 200,000 gold, and grade 6 is 1 million. 7 is several million more. It is making me break out in a cold sweat. This entire estate only brings in a few million a year. This resonance thing is a total money pit. This is a bottomless pit. For the next few days, I ground out my arts and chugged spirit fluid to boost my grade. My power finally hit the earth seal level. My water-light nature is getting purer every day until the fluid runs out. Everyone is waiting in the hall. Kai Wei called the manager. Business is tanking in the district because we have 9 guilds and 18 mines, but 3 rival families are stealing our customers and cutting all our profits. She frowned and told the managers that some shops just were not coming back for a while. Shut them down for now. Once we are stable, we will make those 3 families pay back every single cent. Everyone agreed and left as Li Luo walked in. Chai Wei told the managers to leave immediately, and they quickly cleared the room so the two could talk alone. Kai Wei asked what was up. Li Luo looked super awkward and admitted he needed a massive favor. She got curious and asked what he wanted. He flashed a grin and told her he already burned through all 50 bottles. Now he needs 100 more. The air turned to ice and the room went silent. Kai Wei looked floored. You want 100 more grade 4 bottles? She slammed the table, scaring him half to death. She yelled with total rage, Li Luo, do you just want me to quit? Do you have any idea what you are asking? He panicked and promised she was the best manager ever. He definitely did not want her to leave. She took a deep breath and sighed, trying to stay calm. Then her eyes turned sharp as she glared at him. Is someone scamming you? Is that where the spirit fluid went? Asking for 100 bottles is a massive financial move for us. Li Luo swore he used it all himself. She was still suspicious. Why do you need that much fluid? He played it cool and said his mom left him a secret technique. She agreed because it came from the masters, but Li Luo worried if he was making her life way too hard. He remembered her anger and asked if he was being a total burden. She smiled and said it was worth the struggle to fix his cultivation future, even if she had to give up the entire business in the district to make it happen. She winked and told him to trust her. She has got this situation totally covered. Do not worry. As he left, she wondered if this secret method could actually solve his birth defect. If he fixed his lack of resonance, he might actually survive the heavy responsibilities ahead of him. Vacation was over. He trained like a beast to boost his power and finally reached the 5 seal rank. He spent every second grinding until he made real progress with his resonance. And his water-light nature. Back at school, the haters were whispering, is that Li Luo? He actually showed up for the final exams? I thought he quit. His hair looked different. Rumors said he was dropping out. Li Luo just shook his head at the drama. Li Luo smiled and said, hey, but the teacher looked pissed. You finally decided to show up? Are you giving up because you do not have any natural resonance? He yelled because Li Luo took a week off while everyone else was grinding in the gym. Li Luo apologized like a kid in trouble and promised he would never do it again. Sun Yue stopped being hard on him and just told him to get to class. A classmate shouted, dude, what happened to your hair? You look different. The teacher told everyone to give it their all since exams were close. He also praised students like Zhao Kuo and Yuan Thu, whose powers had already reached the 6th seal level. One student looked humble, but the other was acting like a superstar. Class ended and Zhao Kuo rushed over to Li Luo for help with those 3 techniques from earlier. Suddenly, Li Luo stopped and looked at his friend. "Wait, what happened to your face?" Zhao Kuo growled about some jerk bully from the first house. "He has been picking on second house students for days. I finally had enough and threw hands with him. He hits hard, but I messed him up too and definitely left him with a swollen face." The whole class started complaining about that total scumbag from the first house. Zhao Kuo warned him that the bully was likely coming for him next. "Heads up, man. He is targeting you." Li Luo felt a bit guilty. He had some history with that guy. Is that idiot really still waiting for me to buy him dinner or something? This is getting ridiculous. Zhao Kuo was cool about it, but warned that the bully would come looking for him in the afternoon resonance class. He offered to step in so Li Luo could focus on hitting 7 seals. Li Luo thought, "No way I am letting my best friend take the heat for this jerk." The afternoon class was at the Resonance Tree, a massive and beautiful forest area in the north of the academy. Right in the middle sat one incredibly large and leafy tree for training. Each giant leaf was a VIP training spot over 2 meters long and quite thick. The tree only opened twice a day, and every student was hyped to get inside. The leaves were ranked. Leaves were ranked gold, silver, and bronze. Gold ones were super rare, only 10% of the total. The gold leaves were split between the 2 academies, with less than 10 for each. Most were way up on that giant tree. Then, the bell rang, and students swarmed those branches like ants. Li Luo stood there staring at the sky, feeling the burn of regret. He was kicking himself for losing his spirit essence. He had given up his gold leaves and settled for silver instead. Meanwhile, Fa Ting just stood there, watching him with a totally lost look. Her eyes were full of gloom, thinking about how he had been ghosting everyone for a week. Was Li Luo really just hiding? Maybe he was trying to duck the drama at the academy by staying off the grid. Honestly, it looked like a total runner move. Suddenly, An Hoa jumped in to catch the tea. "Such a waste," she said. "He is seriously way too hot for all this drama." Then, she brought up his old crush, Nam Su. "Remember when Li Luo was in class 1? You were his biggest fan." Fa Ting snapped back, claiming it was not like that at all. Sure, she admired him, but she argued that now was definitely not the time for a crush. She muttered under her breath about how shallow everyone was. Over where Li Luo was standing, some jerk literally stepped right on his leaf. The guy looked down and started talking trash, calling out Li Luo's name with a nasty smirk. This guy was a rich brat from a big family in Nam Fong City. He stood there, looking at Li Luo with nothing but pure contempt. "I thought they stopped letting losers in here," he sneered. "You made me wait at the tower all day. How are you going to pay for that?" Li Luo was not having it and fired back hard. "Do not blame your own stupidity on me. Okay? You are the idiot here. Who is dumb enough to think I would actually show up to meet you?" The guy's face turned red with rage. He screamed at Li Luo to apologize right now, but Li Luo did not blink. He just dropped one cold word that shut everything down. "Get lost." The guy lost it, grinding his teeth in pure anger. He growled out a challenge, saying Li Luo had a big mouth and asking if he had the guts to play. Li Luo did not even blink. He just said he was not interested and moved on. The guy laughed like a maniac, mocking him. "Is everyone in class 2 a total coward? Are you all just running away?" The whole area went dead silent after that insult. But the guy would not stop poking the bear. He kept talking trash until True Coat finally snapped. He yelled right in the guy's face, telling him to shut his mouth for good. He was ready to throw down and demanded a one-on-one fight. The bully recognized him immediately and started mocking him. "Oh, it is you again. I guess the beating I gave you last time was not enough." Li Luo stepped over and joked around to calm him down. "Why are you even letting this piece of trash get to you?" Then his eyes went cold, like a boss making a hit list. "Remember these faces," he said. "I will show them what life is really like later." Before the bully could even speak, Li Luo hit him with questions that left him totally stunned. "Big bro, Is this really necessary? We are just kids messing around at school. Are you really going to run home and tell your family to hit us? The bully narrowed his eyes. Li Luo, do you have no shame? I cannot believe you are actually using a dirty trick like that. Li Luo just flashed a challenging grin. If you are not happy about it, then go get your family's top fighters to come deal with me. The bully started sweating bullets. He knew his family experts would not just show up for this, and even if they did, they probably could not touch Li Luo. His head was spinning like a washing machine on the highest spin cycle. He was completely trapped. That is when the big boss stepped in. Principal Wei sat narrowed his eyes, saying this kid from the Luo family was actually pretty interesting. Right next to him, Lin Feng jumped in like a pro sports commentator. He was the head teacher of Class 1. Imagine needing family power to settle a schoolyard fight. How did two legendary parents end up with a son who acts like such a total rogue? It just does not make any sense. Sun Nok fired back immediately. You are being a bit harsh, Lin Feng. That bully knew Li Luo did not have his spirit essence, yet he still started trouble. Is that not way more pathetic? He was just looking for an easy target. He stood his ground, arguing that a little competition helps the students grow. Then, Lin Feng saw an opening. He made a bold move and brought up the big upcoming academy competition. Class 1 is running low on gold leaves, he said. I want you to give us 5 more. What do you think, Principal? The principal looked shocked. Lin Feng, are you seriously trying to swipe 5 gold leaves from Class 2 right now? I am not down with that. But Lin Feng doubled down, explaining his logic. He claimed Class 1 students were way more talented than anyone else. He argued that giving them the resources would lead to much better results for the academy. Why do you not just try getting a few more of your students into the Saint Star Academy instead? Go teach at Saint Star yourself. Sun Yak was fuming, yelling at him to stop being so arrogant. Finally, Principal Wei stepped in to act as the referee. Quit it. If you both want those gold leaves, let the students fight for them. 3 students each, all at the 6th seal rank. If Class 1 wins, they get 5 gold leaves, but if they lose, they have to hand over 10. How does that sound? After thinking it over, Lin Feng reluctantly agreed. Fine, he said. I guess we can play down to the level of those Class 2 students for once. Sun Yak was worried about his team. Principal, we only have 2 students at the 6th seal rank right now, but the principal just waved it off. Do not sweat it. Even if you lose, I will make it up to you next year. You still have 1 month before the big competition. Sun Nak just accepted his fate. Of course, the principal favors Class 1. Who would ever worry about us? The meeting was over. Go get your teams ready, the principal ordered. They both bowed and agreed before heading out. Meanwhile, over on the Silverleaf side of the academy, things were heating up. Sun Yak called all the Class 2 students together. He stood there and told them exactly what was going down. Once they heard the news, everyone was furious. This is so unfair. Class 1 already has 40 gold leaves. Why are they trying to take even more from us? It felt like a total scam. Are they ever satisfied? We have 0 chance of winning this. Another guy looked terrified, pointing out that Class 2 only has 2 people at the 6th seal rank. We are basically toast. A girl student started pacing around nervously. Sun Yak knew the truth. The power gap between the 2 classes was huge, even with the rank limits in place. They were definitely the underdogs. After thinking it over, he finally made his choice. True Coat and the other top student would lead the charge. True Coat stepped up, looking totally pumped. Do not worry, teacher. I will not let Class 2 look bad. I am going to show those guys we are not pushovers. Everyone was ready to go, but then a girl asked the big question. Teacher, who is our 3rd fighter? Next, the other students looked away, trying to avoid being picked. Sun Yak watched them before his eyes landed on Li Luo. He spoke up with a very specific look in his eyes. Li Luo, you are up. Do not feel pressured. It is okay if you lose. You will go first and just try to drain their energy. If you do that, the guys coming after you will have a much better shot at winning. Li Luo's body started shaking. He was thinking about his secret plan. He wanted to stay low-key, but it looked like that just was not happening anymore. His eyes lit up with fire. He wanted to blow everyone's minds. Old man, you have no idea who you just put in the game. Today, I am going to shine so bright it will make the sun look like a dim light bulb. Just you wait and see. Sunyak saw him spacing out and slapped his back to wake him up. Why are you just standing there? You are not actually scared, are you? News about the duel between Class 1 and Class 2 spread like wildfire, and the whole school was buzzing. Everyone was talking about the fight for those gold leaves. Within minutes, the giant spirit tree was packed with people trying to get a good view. Students from every corner of the academy rushed over to see the chaos. Even though almost no one actually believed Class 2 had a chance of beating the top dogs from Class 1, it was a total underdog story. On the right, the first academy stands like gods. Their top-tier power is at the 6th seal level, absolute beasts. The second academy is a total mess. Everyone is sweating bullets just trying to breathe. It is the opposite of the chill first academy. You can feel the anger and doubt in the air. Honestly, even they do not think they have a shot at winning this. Up on the golden leaf, Fa Jing stares down at the crowd and lets out a massive, bored sigh. This is so lame. What is even the point of this match? Just then, Qing Yi walks over to cheer her up, saying they might as well kill some time while they are here. Fa Jing starts following her around like a lost puppy. Sister Qing Yi, you usually hate these noisy crowds. Qing Yi just gives a soft smile and says she just wanted to see what the hype was about. They both look down at the silver leaf. She wonders who the second academy will even send out. Fa Jing guesses it has to be Zhao Kuo and that guy Yuan Chu since they are 6th seals. But then she asks the big question, who is the third? Before she can finish, a guy walks up from behind. He sounds way too sure of himself. That arrogant jerk is Song Yunfeng. He claims the guy might not have a phase, but he is a natural genius at phase arts. Apparently, he can barely hold his own against a 5th seal in a fight. Fa Jing just laughs behind her hand. Yunfeng, I did not know you were into this kind of drama. It is pretty obvious why you are really here. Everyone around them starts cracking up. The laughter dies down and it gets awkward. Yunfeng stares at Qing Yi, but she just acts like she has no clue. Then she throws some shade. If the second academy actually sends out Li Luo, they are just asking for a beatdown. Our side is bringing 3 6th seal fighters to the party, and those 3 are the best of the best. He scoffs, asking if anyone really thinks the second academy wants to win. They are just going through the motions. Fa Jing just nods along awkwardly, but then Qing Yi slowly brushes her hair back and says she is not so sure. Yunfeng gives her a look and says things have changed. She stays quiet. He looks down at the field with pure hate in his eyes. He grinds his teeth and mutters Li Luo's name. That loser should be face down in the dirt. Why is he still hanging around like some ghost? Right then, the camera zooms in on a few groups of people standing around under a big tree. On the left, Zhao Kuo looks straight ahead. He tells his buddy to be careful and just surrender if things get too sketchy. It would be a tragedy to ruin that pretty face of yours. Li Luo just smirks and tells him he has got a great eye. On the right, Lu Yang asks what the plan is. Is he going to try and bluff his way through again? As the match starts, Li Luo grabs a baseball bat. He holds the bat up and makes a bold claim. Bei Kun rolls his eyes and tells Lu Yang to handle him. Lu Yang looks totally bored and says it is almost cruel to beat him this badly. Bei Kun has it all figured out. Finish Li Luo quickly and move on to the next guy. If you can, take out all 3. Lu Yang nods and says that sounds fair. He pulls out a golden staff that looks like something out of a legend. Only 2 people are left in the arena as the wind blows. The crowd starts whispering that the second academy must have given up if they are actually letting Li Luo fight first. The announcer shouts for both sides to get ready. Then the signal rings out again. Both sides, get ready to rumble. The light turns green and they both get the signal to start. In a split second, Li Luo charges like a rocket. Lu Yang moves just as fast, looking like a ninja. Lu Yang smirks while he runs, mocking the guy for being so slow. But as he watches the figure coming at him, he suddenly goes pale and cannot even speak. While he is still dazed, Li Luo is already in his face, spinning that bat like a pro. Before Liu Yang can even blink, the bat slams right into his gut. He gets hit so hard he actually starts spitting. He flies backward 30 feet into a massive tree trunk. Li Luo lands perfectly, looking like a total superstar after his big debut. Qingyi watches from the sidelines, looking totally impressed by that move. Yunfeng is completely frozen in shock. The whole place goes silent. Then someone in the crowd asks if they just saw something fly across the arena. They are all totally confused. Another student screams that Liu Yang just got sent flying, but a third guy argues back that there is no way Li Luo did that. While everyone is arguing, Li Luo just rests the bat on his shoulder. He looks at the guy and drops a cold line. "What was that you were saying about my speed?" He stands there like a boss, and the crowd cannot believe their own eyes. Liu Yang is a 6th seal level fighter. How did he get crushed by one hit? No way. Fa Jing is confused too. She asks what Liu Yang is even doing since he looks so pathetic out there. Yunfeng says he was just being careless and did not even use his power. He will not get lucky twice. Qingyi has been watching closely. She quietly says that even if there is a next time, he will still win. In fact, she thinks he will take the next 2 matches too. Yunfeng is fuming. The crowd starts buzzing. No way she is that into him, right? Is there something going on between them? Yunfeng finally snaps and yells at them to shut up or step up and face him. His outburst shuts everyone up instantly. He turns to Qingyi and insists there is no way that guy is going to win. She does not say a word, she just keeps watching. On the other side, Zhao Kuo is cheering his head off. Liu Yang struggles to stand up, claiming he was just caught off guard. Bei Kun is getting annoyed. He tells Lu Tai to get out there and be careful. He does not want to see another embarrassing loss. Someone notes that Li Luo's technique is actually pretty high level. If his power reached the 5th seal, he could probably take on most 6th seal fighters. Yunfeng just shrugs it off, saying the kid has always had a weird amount of luck on his side. The announcer yells that the 2nd round is starting. Lu Tai powers up, and his sword starts glowing with a scary orange light. He is using a 5th grade fire phase. The commentator follows every move. He is using his power right from the start to end it fast. He swings his sword, sending streaks of light straight at Li Luo. Lu Tai screams his name. He yells that no matter what tricks Li Luo has, his 5th seal power will crush him for sure. Li Luo just stands there, his eyes wide with surprise as he takes it in. The attack is like lightning. Li Luo barely has time to react, just dodging out of the way at the last second. Lu Tai laughs, saying that without power, he cannot block any of these moves. He goes for another strike, this time using a much stronger technique. Li Luo grips his staff. Suddenly, it is wrapped in a glowing water dragon. A thick mist starts to spread everywhere, making the entire stage look like it is buried in the clouds. Lu Tai cannot see a thing. He wonders where all this steam came from since his vision is totally blocked. Suddenly, Li Luo's staff appears right in front of him, covered in crashing waves. It happens so fast that Lu Tai can only stare in shock as the attack closes in on him. He finally snaps out of it and tries to raise his sword. The staff slams into the blade with a deafening metallic screech. Lu Tai tries to hold his ground, but he cannot take the hit and gets blown backward. The guards outside realize something is up. On stage, Lu Tai sits there, totally shell-shocked. What the heck just happened? Was my power seriously just crushed like that? Li Luo walks over, points his staff right at Lu Tai's face, and says coolly, "Get lost, you lost." The match results are crystal clear. This time, Lu Tai didn't stand a chance. Even so, he still lost to Li Luo. Lu Tai didn't hold back his 6th seal power at all. Wei Sha says happily, "Everyone knew Li Luo was born powerless. So this is crazy. Li Luo isn't powerless anymore, he has got water power." Than Wei smiles to herself, thinking, "I knew it all along." Yunfeng sneaks a look at her face. Her eyes are sparkling with joy she can't even hide. Southwind Academy just got a lot more interesting. Li Luo, you are making him jealous. The fight ended a while ago, but the crowd is still massive. Honestly, it looks like even more people are showing up now. Long Feng stands there scratching his head, wondering what is going on. How did Li Luo suddenly manifest water power? Is he using some forbidden cheat code? Sun Yak, standing right there, snaps back at the insult. Hey, watch your mouth. Just because he was born powerless doesn't mean he stays that way forever. Wei Sha laughs and shouts. Gained powers are rare, but not impossible. Rumor has it there are legendary treasures that can make the impossible happen in the blink of an eye. With that kind of magic, Li Luo parents probably left him some crazy rare treasure. That is definitely how he scored that water power. After this match, we will just ask Li Luo ourselves. We are just mentors here. The academy does not have the right to interrogate him. Another guy steps onto the stage, glares at him, and yells, Li Luo, stop hiding. It is Bei Hun. He sneers with total disgust. You think you are going to use these 3 matches to prove yourself? Not on my watch. I am going to shut you down right now. Li Luo does not even flinch at the trash talk. He just calmly asks, why are you acting so stupid? Is this a performance? Bei Hun was already annoyed, but now he is fuming. He yells, big talk for a dead man. Let us see how long that mouth stays open. He summons his spear and blinding light explodes everywhere. The crowd is on the edge of their seats, whispering like crazy. Bei Hun is a top-tier 6-seal user. This time, it looks like Li Luo is finally in over his head. Bei Hun charges forward like a rocket, smooth as the wind. He swings his spear hard at Li Luo and sneers, just a 5-seal power? And here I thought you actually became someone important. What a joke. Both of them launch into the air, flying straight at each other for a massive mid-air collision. Everyone is losing their minds. How is Li Luo blocking Bei Hun explosive power? He is only a 5-seal level, but Li Luo's strength just keeps growing. Is that a high-level skill? Even in the higher classes, only a few students can pull that off. Li Luo is doing it like a pro. He really is the smartest kid in Southwind Academy. If Bei Hun does not move, he is toast. Bei Hun is starting to sweat. He thinks, what the heck is happening? Li Luo power is overwhelming. Bei Hun unleashes a high-level technique, diving from the sky with his spear pointed right at Li Luo. He screams, Li Luo, you are dead meat. Suddenly, Li Luo's staff lets out a blinding flash. Bei Hun flinches, shouting, where did that light come from? But he does not stop. He swings his spear with everything he has got at Li Luo's head. He is getting more panicked by the second, thinking, what is going on? This spear strike should have hit home. It was right there. But suddenly, his heart starts pounding like a frantic warning bell, freezing him right in his tracks. He cannot do anything. Only one thought remains in his mind. I am totally screwed. While he is completely distracted, Li Luo swings his staff and lands a massive hit right on his face. That hit sends him slamming into the ground with a loud thud. Only Li Luo is left standing on the stage. Thick smoke rises from where Bei Hun crashed, and the guy is nowhere to be seen. The crowd cannot believe their eyes. Everyone is standing there with their mouths wide open in total shock. Once the dust settles, someone finally screams, did you see that? The legend is finally back. Li Luo just wrecked 3 top students all by himself. No one is looking down on him anymore. Is this former superstar actually making a massive comeback? It sure looks like it is happening right now. Fa Jing cannot believe it. Was not he born without any power? How does he have a nature type now? Thon Wai just looks at him, totally calm as she answers. You can actually hear the pride in her voice. Gained powers are incredibly rare, but not impossible. Certain legendary treasures can actually force a nature type to manifest. Li Luo parents were absolute elites, after all. Fa Jing is still totally shook, asking, is he really making a miracle comeback? Yun Feng is standing right there and scoffs. You think it is that easy? Li Luo probably just has a basic water power, maybe level 5 or 6. His seal level is only at the 5th stage. Do you really think a mid-tier power like that is actually rare? Fa Jing nods, thinking it makes sense. True. The academy exams are less than a month away. There is no way Li Luo can catch up in time. It is just not going to happen. Li Luo leaves the stage and walks toward the man he calls director. The man asks, so, did you fix your power problem? Li Luo does not hesitate and answers quickly, yeah, it is a level 5 water power. The guy asking was Lin Feng. He acts like a wise mentor, giving advice. Li Luo, a level 5 water power is just average. Work harder if you want to actually succeed. He hits back with a polite smile. No need to worry about me, Master Lin. Power levels are obviously important, but it is not the only thing that matters in this world. Lin Feng just laughs and mocks him. A level 5 becoming a king? You really believe that? Wei Shi signals Lin Feng to shut it. He says cheerfully, "It is great that you have got some confidence, kid, but the exams are in less than a month. If you want to catch up, you better work 10 times harder." Li Luo bows politely and says, "Understood." Wei Shi's face immediately goes stone cold. He shouts out to everyone, "Listen up. 2 weeks from now, the Academy is opening mock exams. The basic requirement for Saint Xuan is a power level of at least 7 seals." Everyone starts buzzing with excitement and nerves. Only the top students in the first class have 7 seals. They say it is the basic requirement, but it is going to be a total bloodbath. Li Luo stays quiet, doing the math in his head. To be safe, he probably needs to level up his water power even more. He watches the leaves dance in the afternoon breeze. Li Luo is by himself when someone calls out to him from behind. He turns around, scratching his head nervously. He is totally tongue-tied and just stammers out, "Oh, hey, hello." Thon Wai looks at him and calmly asks, "Done hiding now?" He looks a bit stressed but answers, "Yeah, no more hiding." She keeps her gaze steady and serious. "Li Luo, listen. You were once the top student at South Wind Academy. If you actually want to reclaim that throne, you are going to have to beat me. I stayed quiet before because I did not want to mess with your head, but if you are a man, take back what is yours." He mumbles a quiet response. Thon Yi turns around to walk away, but throws one last comment over her shoulder. "I will be waiting. Also, just so you know, the way you have been acting these past few years, my opinion of you has dropped quite a bit." Who knows what she said at the very end? Li Luo just stands there, watching her walk away into the distance, feeling totally lost. He sighs and thinks, "Man, I really messed up with her." The prettier the girl, the more of a grudge she holds. Up in the building behind them, a mysterious figure watches them in silence. Looks like Li Luo noticed. The guy sees him looking and mouths every word clearly. "Li Luo, do not cause trouble. Stay away from Chang'er." Li Luo cannot hear a thing, though. He just mumbles to himself, wondering what that idiot is even doing. If you have something to say, just say it. Whispering like that makes you look like a rat stealing food. Who even knows what you are rambling about? Over at Nanfeng Academy, the students are all gossiping. They cannot believe Li Luo actually pulled off a comeback. An acquired resonance? Nobody has ever heard of that before. It is decent, but it is only a 5th grade water resonance. With the big exams just 1 month away, does he really think he can go beast mode and catch the top students? Despite being the center of the gossip, Li Luo just spaces out. He realizes that without using the light power from his water light resonance today, his fight against Bei Kun would have taken way longer. But hitting 6th grade with a 5th grade water light resonance is not easy. I better head back and talk this over with Kaiwei first. Heading back to the building where Kaiwei stays. Inside the quiet room, Kaiwei slowly places her speakers on the table. A second later, melodic music fills the air. It feels like flowers are blooming around her. Honestly, the only thing missing is a caption saying this scene was staged by a director. Right then, Li Luo bursts through the door, happily calling out for Sister Kaiwei. His sharp eyes lock onto his target, making his face turn red and his heart skip a beat. Kaiwei is caught off guard and glares in embarrassment. She snaps at him for not knocking, but Li Luo just gives her a cheeky, satisfied grin. After he finishes laughing, he promises to be more careful next time. Kaiwei loses her patience and asks what the young palace lord wants now. Li Luo puts on a cute face and says he has a special treasure to show her. Suddenly, Kaiwei is standing by the window holding a crossbow. She coolly reminds him that she has the strength of a resonant master. Seeing that weapon pointed right at him, Li Luo nervously asks what on earth she thinks she is doing. Kai Wei gives him a freezing cold stare and asks what this treasure is. Li Luo looks a little bit disappointed. He creates a stream of flowing water and says this is all he wanted to show her. After seeing his little performance, Kai Wei looks down and says she understands. She will do her best to satisfy his request. Li Luo is confused, so she slowly explains her reasoning. She asks if he wonders why she did not refuse him. After all, he is the young lord of House Luolin. The entire estate belongs to him and Jiang Qingyi, and now he finally has a resonance. His influence on House Luolin is worth way more than some spirit liquids. Finally, understanding her point, Li Luo starts waving his hands around in pure excitement. Sister Kai Wei, you really know how to read a person. Can you get me a few dozen bottles of 5th grade spirit liquid first? She agrees immediately, but warns him that since he needs such a large amount, their funds are low. She plans to sell some of the house assets and trade guilds in Tianshu Prefecture. He says with total confidence that he is leaving everything to her. No matter what happens, he has her back. Kai Wei thanks the young lord for his trust. While they are at it, Li Luo asks if she can take him to the facility where the house refines their spirit liquids. Since I have a water resonance, I need to learn about being a refiner. Kai Wei happily agrees to take him tomorrow. Back at Nanfeng Academy, Mentor Shenyu makes an announcement. The first house handed over some gold leaves to the second house today, so everyone gets extra resources for their cultivation starting now. Li Luo won these gold leaves all by himself yesterday, so everyone needs to give him a big thanks. Everyone starts cheering with excitement. It is awesome. Seeing everyone so happy, Li Luo cannot help but smile. After class, Mentor Shan Yue pulls him aside for a chat and asks if he is requesting another leave of absence. He simply says yes. The mentor does not push it and just tells him that the exams are coming up. Since he was behind for a while, he needs to catch up fast. If he fails the exam, there is no hope of getting into Astral Sage College. Li Luo obediently listens to his teacher. That afternoon, he eagerly heads over to score a free meal, happily calling out for Sister Kai Wei. Kai Wei is gracefully sipping her tea. She mentions that the Sun Creek workshop brings in huge profits for House Luolin every year. Because of that, Pei Hao is now desperately fighting to seize control of it by any means necessary. Li Luo nods along while stuffing his face. Kai Wei continues explaining her strategy, noting that Pei Hao bribed a vice president to sabotage the workshop and tank its profits for the entire year. Hearing this, Li Luo jumps up in a rage, cursing Pei Hao in his head. That total bastard. He is such a piece of trash. Unbelievable. Now I have completely lost my appetite. The convoy rolls into the north side of the city. Kai Wei professionally explains that this is where the Sun Creek Workshop branch sells its spirit liquids here in Tianshu Prefecture. Two people approach them from a distance to say hello. Kai Wei turns to Li Luo and whispers that those two over there are actually the managers of this branch. On the left is Yan Lingqing. She is a genius refiner from the Astral Sage College, and also Jiang Qingyi's best friend. She is currently a 4th grade refiner sent here as backup. On the right is Zhuang Yi, who says it is an absolute honor to have the young lord and the manager visit the workshop today. Kai Wei does not give him the time of day. She snaps that he is overdoing it, since the workshop is the young lord's property. Why should visiting his own place be an honor? He just turns around and leaves, claiming he does not want to ruin their mood. Seeing that old fox's attitude, Li Luo realizes that Zhuang Yi has completely sided with Pei Hao. Lingqing curiously asks Sister Kai Wei what brings them to the workshop today. As Kai Wei walks over, Li Luo stares at the two girls in front of him. Actually, he is staring at their curves and thinking to himself that comparison really is the thief of joy. Lingqing catches him and gives him a death stare, asking what he is comparing. Li Luo smoothly talks his way out of it, saying it is rare to see two such stunning beauties together. Since each has her own unique style, he just could not help but stare. Lingqing lets it slide and scoffs that he has a silver tongue. She tells Kai Wei that they should get moving. She leads the way and explains the current situation to both of them as they walk. This branch currently has 2 4th grade refiners, 9 3rd grade refiners, 16 2nd grade refiners, and 33 1st grade refiners on the payroll. Li Luo processes the info and realizes Kai Wei already knows all this. She must be saying it just for him. Qing Yi's best friend might act cold on the outside, but she clearly has a good heart. The three of them head into another room. Ling Qing mentions that this is her workspace and asks if Kai Wei really just came here to look around. Kai Wei explains that the young lord wants to learn about being a refiner. Standing in the back, Li Luo cannot help but comment on how cool the room is. Ling Qing hesitates, remembering that the young lord is supposed to be powerless. Kai Wei knows what she is thinking and tells Li Luo it is time for his performance. She wants him to shock a senior student like her. Li Luo immediately shows off his skills. Ling Qing gasps in total shock, asking if that is really a water resonance. Li Luo explains that it is a 5th-grade water resonance. Ling Qing is confused and asks why he is not focusing all his energy on the academy entrance exams. If he gets into Astral Sage College, he will have world-class teachers. Li Luo acts like he does not have a care in the world. He says he knows his priorities and just wants to learn a little bit. Kai Wei gently suggests that since the young lord finally wants to improve himself, a senior student like her should teach him. Ling Qing gives in and agrees. She asks Li Luo if he already knows the basics of being a refiner. Then, she points to a massive pile of books and tells him to read them all. Seeing Li Luo actually sit down and start reading, she thinks to herself that this kid is actually a pretty good listener. She rushed to her desk, reminding the guys to just hang out while she handled some unfinished business. Tai told her to go ahead and work while he rested his eyes for a minute. Meanwhile, in another room, Zhuang Yi kicked his feet up and asked his lackey what the young master and the head butler were busy with. The lackey reported they were just wandering. The old man smirked and ordered him to track their every move, since this was his big chance to finally take over the branch. Then we will run this whole place and kick Ling Qing to the curb. Now get out. The lackey bowed and left, leaving Zhuang Yi to laugh like a total psycho. His eyes flashed with pure evil as he muttered to himself, "Tha na, you think some student can stop me? This place is already in the palm of my hand." As the sun set, Li Luo rubbed his eyes. Ling Qing walked over and nodded. "Not bad. You actually have some patience. Come with me." She led him into the lab to teach him the basics of crafting spirit liquids by mixing ingredients perfectly. Every single material has its own unique traits and impurities, and the final result of the entire process is what we call the spirit water. While speaking, she pulled out a flower and introduced it as the heartleaf water flower. To craft this, you have to use your own water and light resonance to fuse the materials together. Merging all these different ingredients requires a specific type of inner force. This power is usually referred to as either primal water or primal light. This is the resonance core, which condenses your power into primal water. Drop by drop, it falls until it finally fills a whole bottle of spirit water. Ling Qing held it up and said this was a grade 1 spirit water. The process is honest. The quality of your primal water directly boosts the refining power. It depends on the crafter's resonance grade. For instance, if Thaning Na made this, it would be stronger. Even with the same resonance, the results vary based on individual willpower. Li Luo stared at the bottle and wondered what would happen if different primal waters were mixed. He thought, I was born without a resonance, even if I gained one later. My empty resonance is still there. Could my primal water be used by other masters since it seems to be able to harmonize with everything? Seeing his focus, Ling Qing told him that if he wanted to be a master, she would teach him the basics. Once he made a grade 1 liquid, he would officially be one. From then on, Li Luo got super disciplined, training at Southwind Academy. He used the Golden House at home and practiced his resonance arts every single day. He spent his free time learning from Ling Qing to become a legit master. Time flew by and he felt himself getting stronger every day until the academy exam arrived. Li Luo finally reached the 6th tier of power, exactly as he had planned. Today, the Southwind Academy was way more crowded and energetic than usual because the midterm exams were finally about to kick off. The main goal was to filter through the crowd and pick the top 20 students who would eventually represent the entire academy in the final competition. Zhao Kuo looked at the crowd and said, "Man, it is packed." Li Luo nodded in agreement. This is the last chance for students to show off. Let us see how lucky you are, but based on your resonance, you might not last 2 rounds. Zhao Kuo just scoffed. I hope you face Lu Qing'er in the first round. He snapped. Li Luo shot back with his own curse, and they kept bickering until they reached the testing area. The principal announced that the exams were officially starting. He told them to give it their all since these rankings would determine their entire future careers. The exam lasts 3 days. You can find the first day brackets posted on the walls all around the main square. Without further ado, I declare the exams officially open. As soon as he finished, the crowd went wild as the match brackets appeared on the wall. Zhao Kuo checked the list excitedly and told Li Luo that their opponents today looked like total pushovers who would not even stand a chance. Li Luo nodded, noting that even though his opponents were from the first house, they did not seem as tough as Bei Kun. Zhao Kuo said his goodbyes and headed off to his match, telling Li Luo to good luck. Li Luo waved him off and finished his own fight way faster than expected. The first round was over in just a couple of minutes. He was happy with the quick win, thinking he could head to see Ling Qing early. But then he froze, eyes wide, as a girl caught his attention. It was Lu Qing'er, looking absolutely stunning as usual. Li Luo walked up and asked her how her matches were going, assuming they were a breeze for her. She politely replied, noting that he had gotten even stronger. Then she asked him how far he actually planned to go in this exam. Li Luo looked down and said he just wanted to hit the top 20 so he could make the list for the final exam. Lu Qing'er looked him straight in the eye and told him that with his real strength, he should easily be aiming for the top 10. She felt like he should stop hiding his power and silence his haters once and for all. Li Luo knew she meant well, but he was not ready to show his hand. Despite his thoughts, he just told her he would try his best. He did not hang around to chat and quickly said goodbye since he had work to do. She watched him leave, feeling a bit lost. Suddenly, an announcement echoed through the air saying that Song Yunfeng from the first house had won his match. Song Yunfeng looked pissed, his mind full of hatred for Li Luo. He thought about how he had warned him. Meanwhile, Li Luo was back at the lab, enjoying his work. He was getting more and more into this crafting thing. Suddenly, a figure appeared at the door with a super creepy smile. Zhuang Yi noticed how hard the young master was working and spoke up. Li Luo mentioned he was busy learning the craft from Ling Qing. The old man laughed, saying that while she was a graduate, she still lacked real experience. He then offered to give the boy some professional advice himself. Li Luo flat out refused, saying he liked Ling Qing's style. He told the guy he would reach out if he ever actually needed anything later on. The old man acted disappointed and started to leave. Then Li Luo remembered something. He told the vice president that supplies were low and asked him to restock them immediately. Zhuang Yi got awkward and tried to dodge it, saying it was not his fault and that there were major issues with the supply chain. He said shortages were normal, but he would keep an eye on it. Li Luo just watched him silently before turning away. Then Zhuang Yi's lackey finally spoke up. The lackey was surprised by the young master, thinking he must be using some insane treasures left behind by his parents. The old man grumbled that it was a total waste of resources. He said the kid was only 5th grade and told the lackey to send word to Pei Hao immediately. He also ordered him to push the licensing for the Grade 1 lab, saying Ling Qing was getting on his nerves. The subordinate nodded. Yes, inside the Grade 1 lab, voices kept shouting about the refining power hitting level 4. Li Luo arrived and immediately got scolded by Ling Qing. She told him he had made 4 specific mistakes, mostly because his heat control on the silver leaf fruit was totally off. The moon essence is way too sticky, and that smoke water is too thin. Your water power just isn't hitting that saturation point, kid. She slammed her glasses down and barked, "Do it all over again." The lackey moped away while Ling Qing watched him leave, feeling a major storm brewing inside. She was stuck following Zhang Qing's orders anyway. He already runs the 2nd-tier lab, but now Zhuang Yi is getting greedy and coming for the 1st-tier spot. His excuse? He has got some star student who is pumping out spirit fluids at 50 or 60% purity. It is a total power play to take over the whole operation. Zhuang Yi is using this to spread rumors that I suck at teaching. Now, even the masters at Sun Creek are starting to doubt me. If this keeps up, that snake is going to snatch the first-tier lab right from under us. That kills our production and leaves House Luo Nam in total ruins. Yanhua spotted Li Luo arriving and looked totally stressed out. He asked why the vice president looked like she wanted to murder someone. Yanhua sighed, admitting they had been getting screamed at all morning. Then she quickly caught him up on all the drama going down in the labs. Li Luo finally got it. This fight for the first-tier lab was a huge deal. If Zhuang Yi actually pulled this off, they were toast. It would absolutely crush Ling Qing's reputation and strip her of all power at Sun Creek moving forward. We are desperate for cash right now, so any disaster here would be a total nightmare for me and my future. But hey, no use crying over spilled milk. Time to stop overthinking and actually start studying for the day. 2 hours of study flew by in a blur, and Li Luo's refining skills were getting smoother by the second. Suddenly, the door slammed open, scaring the life out of everyone. Ling Qing spun around, shocked. The room started buzzing. It was Zhuang Yi. What the hell was he doing here now? Ling Qing stepped up to face him. Vice President Zhuang Yi, do you even know what rules are? He just gave a slimy smirk. Look, production of our spirit fluids has tanked recently. It is dragging down the entire reputation of Sun Creek, and honestly, it is making us all look bad. She shot back with ice in her voice. You know exactly why production is down. If you hadn't choked off our supply of raw materials, we wouldn't be in this mess. But the old snake just shrugged off the blame. Materials are scarce everywhere. I can't just pull them out of thin air. Look, we are professionals here, and results are the only thing that matters. You're supposedly training a first-tier resonance master, but where is the proof of your success? Your best student can barely hit 50% purity on a basic spirit fluid. Hearing that, the other masters in the room felt totally insulted. He kept on bragging about his own student, Shi Yun, who hits 56% purity without breaking a sweat. I think it is time you hand over the first-tier lab to me. Don't you all agree that my proposal is perfectly reasonable? Shi Yun gave a cocky laugh. Vice President, maybe you should just let me take over the first-tier lab instead. That way you can focus on the second-tier lab, which is supposed to be our main moneymaker anyway. Ling Qing's face went dark with rage, but suddenly a bright light flashed, cutting right through the argument. A cheerful voice rang out from the back of the room. It is finished. Li Luo held up a glass vial and said, 60% purity. Everyone was floored. The young lord actually made that? Ling Qing pushed her way to the front, shouting for everyone to move so she could check the vial herself. Zhuang Yi's side started looking real nervous, especially when the test scale lit up halfway across the room. Ling Qing was stunned. This fluid is incredibly pure. It really is 60%. She turned around with a smug grin. Hey, Vice President Zhuang Yi, looks like I won't be handing over this lab after all. Didn't see that coming, did you? The old man glared at her, trying to find a flaw. You're pulling some kind of trick here, aren't you? Ling Qing just raised an eyebrow. You calling me a liar? Zhuang Yi backed down, mumbling excuses before scurrying away. As soon as they left, the whole room felt like it could breathe again. Ling Qing couldn't stop praising him. I can't believe you hit that purity on your first try. You've got a real gift for this resonance stuff, kid. Li Luo just scratched his head, acting all humble. Guess I just got lucky today. She was glowing. Seriously, you saved us, but don't expect a thank you note. After all, this place is basically your personal ATM anyway. But since I am in such a great mood, I am taking you out to grab some dinner later tonight. Outside, the city lights seemed to celebrate their big win. Li Luo and Ling Qing clinked glasses and knocked them back. She was clearly hyped up, telling him he did an amazing job and that she was finally feeling alive again. Li Luo gave a shy laugh. Like you said, I am just making money for myself, right? She blushed and pouted. That jerk Zhuang Yi has been getting on my nerves for forever. I've wanted to wipe that smirk off his face for a long time now. But forget him. You still have a long way to go to catch up to Qing'e. Li Luo didn't mind the comment. Obviously, he said, but I am going to work my tail off. Ling Qing pointed at him, looking curious. So tell me, what do you really think about Jiang Qing'e? Li Luo played it cool. Everyone knows she's brilliant. If I said I wasn't thinking about her, you'd just call me a liar for being too humble. Ling Qing smirked. Look at you being honest. Right now you're still at Southwind, but wait until you get into the Astral Sage Academy. Then you will see how scary your competition really is. He just grinned with pride. Whatever, I'm still the one she's engaged to. If those guys try anything, Qing'e will definitely have my back and protect me. She burst out laughing. You are a crafty one, aren't you? They kept drinking way into the night until Ling Qing finally passed out. Li Luo nervously tried to wake her up. Hey, wake up. You looked so confident. I actually thought you could handle your liquor. A few cups in and you are totally out. The waiter wished them a safe trip as they left. Ling Qing was dead to the world, not even realizing Li Luo was carrying her. He got her into a carriage and told the driver to take her home. Then he started walking back, telling himself he needed to work even harder from now on. Little did he know, Ling Qing was wide awake inside. She whispered that his little fiancé might be weak, but he definitely had her seal of approval. The next day at House Luo, things were back to normal. Li Luo woke up with a massive hangover. My head is killing me. Kai Wei just shook her head. Drinking with Ling Qing? Seriously? You're basically just a kid. Li Luo groaned. She teased him before getting down to business. A big sister is still a big sister. Okay, I have been busy selling off some useless property and minor businesses for House Luo in the Tianshu district lately. Li Luo praised her, saying she was the best, totally unlike Ling Qing who cannot handle her drinks at all. Kai Wei looked absolutely shocked. Can't handle her drinks? Li Luo then told her all about how he had to carry her home last night. She laughed and winked. You are such a dummy. Ling Qing can drink 10 times as much as you without even getting a red face. You better hope you didn't try anything while she was faking it. Otherwise, she will never say a single good word about you to Jiang Qing'e. Li Luo went pale. Women are terrifyingly deep thinkers. When he got to the academy later, the vibe was totally different. Everyone looked drained and exhausted. It was pretty obvious that most of the students had a rough time during yesterday's tournament and were still feeling the pain today. Zhao Kuo ran up to him immediately. Hey man, you're here. You've got 2 matches today, but do not sleep on the first one. You remember Yu Lang from the first house, right? Li Luo thought for a second. Yu Lang? Yeah, he is a big name in the first house, always ranked in the top 10. I heard he has a 6th grade wind resonance and is famous for being insanely fast. Zhao Kuo warned him that the guy had reached the 7th seal. Li Luo rubbed his chin, thinking it over. 7th seal is tough, but I can still handle him. He patted Zhao Kuo's shoulder. Don't worry about me, I have got this. Another student called out, Hey, someone is outside looking for you. When he stepped out, he saw a familiar face waiting around. It was Yu Lang himself, looking as flashy as ever. Li Luo was surprised it had been way too long since they last met. Look at you, rising from the ashes like a legend. Still the same guy who ruled Southwind Academy. Li Luo just rolled his eyes. Can you please talk like a normal human? You look like a total idiot. Ngu Lang winks and tells me some rich jerk from the office offered him a fat stack of cash to hunt me down and go all out just to totally wreck me during our match today. Hope I am ready. Li Luo is not surprised at all. Is this guy a snitch or just trying to play both sides for the money? He folds his arms and laughs, saying Oolong acts romantic but talks way too much. Consider this a favor returned. I am just here to warn you if you realize you cannot handle me, you better jump off the stage fast. Of course, maybe you are hiding some crazy secret power. If so, I will just play along. Let me land a hit so you can bail. That way, I still collect that fat bonus from Yunfeng. That jerk is paying a crazy high price. Right, like that is gonna happen. I am not that clumsy kid who trips over his own pants anymore. Li Luo sighs. You are seriously annoying, man. I am definitely telling the teacher on you for this. Nu Lang snaps. Li Luo, you are a total dog. Do you know how hard it is for me to earn cash these days? A rich kid like you would never understand the struggle. Li Luo brushes him off. Fine, just get lost. The info was not worth much, but thanks anyway. Ngulon grumbles and tells him to watch his back out there. Walking back, Li Luo gets quiet. Yunfeng's grudge is growing. mostly because of Chinger and some old family drama between the Songs and Luo Nams. I keep a low profile, so why is he still coming for me? The morning matches fly by without any drama. Super smooth. But in the afternoon, Li Luo finally faces Ngulang. It was only a matter of time. Ngu Lang is sweating bullets. Talk about awkward. Can I just not fight this genius kid? The referee shouts start, and Ngu Lang lunges forward to strike first. Ngu Lang charges in first, slamming his fist right into Li Luo's protective shield. He does not stop there, unleashing a brutal flurry of punches. The fight gets intense as Ngu Lang moves so fast he leaves after images and cuts through the wind. It is like he is swallowing Li Luo whole. Li Luo stays in a total defensive stance, waiting, constantly shifting around. The crowd is shocked. Li Luo is pulling out some high-level resonance arts, but Ngu Lang is way stronger than he looks. Trying to block those lightning-fast attacks is not going to be an easy job for him. On the stage, Ngu Lang gathers massive energy in his hand for a wind finger strike. Li Luo reacts just as fast, charging up his water palm. Ngu Lang's hand glows like a blade as they both charge in head-on. When the two moves collide, the impact triggers a massive explosion on stage. The crowd is terrified but amazed that Li Luo actually neutralized Ngu Lang's strongest attack. That was seriously impressive. A mid-tier resonance art just shut down Ngu Lang's high-tier windfinger. The top student of Nam Phong Academy definitely lives up to the legend. Ngu Lang just grins on stage. This guy is a total freak, but I like it. Li Luo is actually making this fun. He prepares to lunge forward again, but suddenly his head starts spinning. He looks back in total shock. What is this? Wait, when did my legs get tied up? Li Luo just smirks. You might not trip over your pants anymore, but a water snake will still take you down. Ngu Lang's face turns pale. Li Luo, you dirty cheater. Finally, Li Luo sends him flying with one punch. Ngu Lang coughs up a mouthful of blood that sprays into the air as he spins twice. Li Luo stands there with his mouth wide open. That blood spray looks totally fake. He is clearly overacting to earn that money from Yunfeng before quitting school. Meanwhile, the crowd goes wild. Great job, Li Luo. He glares back with a look of pure disdain. Li Luo just stares him down, staying quiet and thoughtful. Suddenly, someone runs up to him. It is Chu Coat, and he throws an arm around his shoulder, laughing and chatting away. They head over to the massive stone board covered in names. Chu Coat looks shocked by the list, while Li Luo stays completely bored and indifferent. He gives a worried look and lets out a weak laugh. We are in trouble. Only the heavy hitters are left. You might actually face him. The board clearly shows the next match. Li Luo. Right then, Yunfeng smirks with total confidence. His attitude is confusing everyone. He was in such a bad mood earlier, but now he looks like a different person. He stares ahead with excitement and says he is happy because he gets to face his rival tomorrow. Seeing him face Li Luo makes sense to everyone, since they have both been winning all their matches so far. He keeps that smug grin on his face and remarks that the chances of them meeting were always pretty high. Fa Qing gets lost in thought as she looks around the entire Nam Phong Academy. Only Qinger can really handle Yunfeng. Li Luo knows how much he likes her, yet he still keeps messing with him. A guy fueled by pure jealousy is not going to have much logic left. Tomorrow is going to be brutal. A clear sky hangs over the carriage. Inside, Li Luo is thinking, this is messy. Yunfeng is not just at the seal stage, his resonance is way more powerful than mine. Plus, he has that 7th grade Crimson Eagle resonance. That is a high-tier grade. From 7 to 9 is the top level of resonance power anyone can cultivate. Between his raw power and his high resonance grade, I am totally outmatched. I might actually lose this fight. He looks down, feeling defeated, wondering if he should just give up now. Thick mist still hangs over the massive grounds of the manor. Tai Vi looks worried and asks what is wrong. Did you not sleep well? He just replies gloomily that the pressure from the upcoming academy exams has been getting to him lately. Oh right, Ling Qing was asking about you last night. She said you have not been to Sun Creek lately. Li Luo mumbles that he will focus on that once the exams are over, but she can visit anytime she wants. Tyvee casually holds her scissors, giving him a teasing look. Why don't you have the guts to say that right to her face? Li Luo does not stick around. He waves goodbye to Tyvee, mostly because he is afraid she will actually hit him. I am done eating. See ya. Suddenly, a voice calls out his name, and he quickly turns his head around. The person calling him is Qing'er. She looks at him without much emotion and asks if he is fighting Yunfeng today. He slowly nods his head in response. Qing'er looks curious and asks what his plan is. Li Luo just scratches his face awkwardly and says he will probably just forfeit the match right away. Her face lights up and she leans in close to comfort him. That is a very smart choice. There is no reason to fight him right now. With your insane talent for resonance arts, you will close that gap between you two in no time. He closes his eyes and agrees. But then, her expression suddenly darkens. She says this whole mess might actually be her fault and tells him she is really sorry about it. Li Luo disagrees. He rubs his eyes and tries to explain that she is just a small part of it. The real issue is the drama between their families. More importantly, he can tell that Yunfeng is actually terrified. That surprises her. Scared? Li Luo confirms it. His face turns serious as he explains that Yunfeng is terrified. I will go back to how I used to be. He hates just living in my shadow. If that happens, all his hard work over the years becomes a total joke. Qing'er seems to finally understand the hidden meaning behind what he is saying. So he wants to crush you now before you fully peak. He is using you to boost his own fragile ego. That is exactly what Li Luo was trying to say. Qing'er looks really worried and deep in thought. If that is true, he is not going to let you off easily today. But Li Luo does not seem bothered. Li Luo walked off, leaving Qingyi totally baffled. He did not look like a guy out of options. Was there some hidden play to dodge this duel with Yunfeng? So, Li Luo's first fight wrapped up smoothly. But his second match? They saved that for the grand finale of the exams, the big closing act. The big shots on the balcony were laughing. Li Luo versus Yunfeng? You think he actually stands a chance? Is this fight even worth watching, Principal? Lu Zheng looked annoyed. This whole matchup is totally rigged. He should just forfeit now. There is no shame in walking away from a suicide mission. Unlike him, Weisha was actually hyped. Li Luo hit the top 20 in record time. Give him a minute, and he will be breathing down Yunfeng's neck. But the others were not buying it. The only thing Li Luo has on him is raw talent. Yunfeng has a 7th grade resonance and power he just cannot touch. Catching up? Not gonna be that easy. Finally, the man of the hour shows up looking all arrogant. The crowd went wild. Yunfeng! Yunfeng! He is so hot. Li Luo just smirked and stepped out looking like a total boss. The crowd's reaction was even louder. Oh my god, he is way cuter than Yunfeng. Go, Li Luo. He slowly raised a hand, while Yunfeng glared at him with zero chill. You here to surrender or what? Li Luo did not flinch. You gonna try to trash talk me into making a mistake? Yunfeng just sneered, eyes full of pure hate. Nah, I just think having a pathetic son like you must be a massive, total embarrassment for your parents. Li Luo looked down silently. Then he looked up, eyes burning with a literal fire. Bring it on. I am giving you a chance here. But if you want a piece of me, you better bring your A game. Qingyi looked totally stressed out and worried. She could not believe he actually had the guts to insult Li Luo's legendary parents. That is where he draws the line. Chu Kuo was watching from the sidelines and he was fuming. That jerk Yunfeng is totally out of line. Then, the announcement everyone was waiting for. Fight! The referee barely finished before Yunfeng exploded with power, a 7th grade crimson bird resonance glowing behind him. The crowd's jaws hit the floor. Yunfeng is not holding back at all. He is throwing everything he has got. How is Li Luo supposed to deal with this gap? Li Luo stayed focused, watching every move. He slowly let his spirit energy flow like a rising tide around him. Heavy water wave. Someone noticed his move. It is a solid technique that builds power, but against Yunfeng? Yunfeng just looked at him with nothing but pure contempt. He charged forward, wrapped in that fiery phoenix aura. You think this changes anything? Get lost. Their powers slammed into each other, creating a massive, blinding explosion of light. Li Luo got blasted back to the very edge of the ring, but he did not blink. He was still locked in, even as people whispered that the power gap was just too huge for him to ever win. Yunfeng lunged again, loading up a massive power punch. He was like a predator on the hunt, not giving Li Luo a single second to catch his breath. But then, Li Luo pressed 2 fingers to his forehead. A strange light started to glow. His eyes were chillingly, terrifyingly calm. He tossed a barrier at his opponent, and everyone was totally confused. It looked like a desperate move. Qingyi was terrified because a basic water mirror spell could not possibly stop Yunfeng's brutal, razor-sharp attack. But the guy himself did not care. He just screamed in rage and threw his strongest strike. A golden explosion ripped through the air. He was the one who got sent flying back through the thick smoke. Chu Kuo was absolutely stunned. Yunfeng got pushed back? Since when was Li Luo's water mirror this powerful? Yunfeng was fuming, gritting his teeth in pure frustration. That counterforce felt like 70% of my own power hitting me back. There is no way a regular water mirror technique can do that. It is completely, totally impossible. Li Luo gave him a smug grin. Yunfeng realized there was something seriously wrong with that spell. Even Bei Hun and Fa Jing could not believe their eyes. This has to be a joke. The crowd was losing their minds. How did Li Luo block Yunfeng's full power? Finally, Qingyi could relax. The whole arena was basically just a stage for Li Luo now, and the cheers for him were getting insane. He really is the best at spirit arts in the school. But some people still could not believe it. How? You okay there, Yunfeng? Li Luo smirked. Looks like my experiment worked. Mixing light energy into a medium-level light art I call shadow vision. Let's call this new combo the water light mirror. If both powers are pushed to the limit, Yunfeng was losing it. Stop with the cheap tricks. You think you can actually change the outcome of this fight? He screamed so hard his veins were popping out. He charged in to crush Li Luo, but Li Luo just stuck out one hand and stopped him cold. Then he just laughed in his face as Yunfeng tumbled backward. Li Luo stood his ground like a solid rock. Yunfeng's jaw was literally on the floor. Every time I hit him, it feels like I am just punching myself. What the hell is this move? Even Wei Xia was watching the whole thing in total shock. This water mirror technique is definitely something special. Everyone else was gossiping too. That kind of counter power? It looks more like a high-level mystic water technique. Can a kid at Li Luo's level really pull off a high-level spirit art like that? Shan Yue chimed in. It is definitely just a water mirror, but it looks like Li Luo tweaked the formula a bit. People were stunned. Changing a technique is not something a student can just do. I guess he really is his parents' son. I cannot believe this fight is going so differently than I thought. On the stage, Yunfeng growled. You scared to fight for real? Li Luo just shrugged. Not at all. Come get some. Yunfeng looked like a rabid dog who just lost his bone. Suddenly, he had an idea. Wait, this water mirror is still a high-level art. It uses a ton of energy. If I keep forcing him to use it, he will run dry. Without that mirror, Li Luo is just a wolf with no teeth. Nothing to be afraid of. Li Luo saw him plotting and just laughed to himself. You want to drain my energy? Smart move, I guess. But if you think that will stop me, you are dead wrong. Both of them charged in for the next round. Yunfeng's plan was not working, and he started to panic. Damn it! Even with his energy suppressed, I still cannot crush him. Li Luo, how many more times can your weak power actually pull off that mirror trick? Li Luo did not say a word. He just smirked and kept casting his mirror arts. That familiar flash hit again as they both flew back. For the next few minutes, the crowd just stared, watching the same loop over and over. It was a game of chicken now. How long could Li Luo's energy hold out? This stalemate dragged on until his 10th cast. Li Luo was looking pretty gassed. Fen smirked and bragged, Li Luo, your little strategy isn't working anymore. I bet you do not even have enough energy left to spark one more water mirror. He charged up his power, arms raised high with a wild look. Let us see what you can do now. But out of nowhere, a hand reached out and caught his arm mid-swing, stopping him cold. Fen was pinned, unable to move an inch. What are you doing? He barked. The referee stepped in between them and calmly said, Hey kid, listen up. Your time is officially over. Li Luo rubbed his wrists and dropped a burn. Game over, idiot. Did you want overtime or something? Li Luo did not mind saying it again. Time is up, moron. Were you expecting a bonus? The crowd was buzzing in total shock. Fen wanted to drain Li Luo's power, but he got played. Yu Lang, covered in bandages, chimed in. Li Luo was just stalling for time. Fen started yelling like a rabid dog. He is out of energy. I have got him. Just give me 1 second, one more second. Li Luo said nothing. He just gave him a winner's smirk. The ref was not having it. Rules are rules. And the clock ran out. Fen just screamed louder. You have got to be kidding me. Ignoring his temper tantrum, the ref announced the final result. It is a draw. The stands exploded with cheers. Brother Luo, you are the absolute GOAT. Yu Lang grinned to himself. Is this freak actually making a comeback? Even Fen took a hit this time. Chinger smiled from the sidelines. I knew it, Li Luo. You are finally standing tall again. That is the version of you that is truly brilliant. Li Luo walked off looking tall. Chinger watched him go, her mind racing. This is not enough, she thought. I want to see you reach the peak, and then I am going to crush you. Two shadows approached from a distance. Li Luo patted his shoulder and said, I gave you a chance, Fen, and you blew it. You are a total failure. This was your shot, and now it is gone forever. Then his voice turned cold. Now, about that trash you talked about my mom, we are settling that right now. Fen was not backing down. Fine then, he spat. I will be waiting. As they walked past, Wei Xia from the Sea Guard could not stop praising him. This Li Luo kid never planned on winning. His whole goal was just to force a draw. Lan Feng stood nearby and shared his take. Li Luo's performance was not bad today, but the real exams have a time limit. These little tricks will not save him when the real pressure hits. Shan Yue jumped in to defend him. Who says Li Luo will not improve by then? Wei Xia waved his hand dismissively. How he performs later is his own business, he said. But for this exam, Nanfeng Academy has to stay #1 in Tianshu Prefecture. His face turned terrifyingly dark as he gave his orders. If anything goes wrong on the big day, there will be consequences. The teachers nearby bowed low, sweating bullets. Lan Feng stammered, Do not worry, Principal. Our top house is the strongest. We will definitely keep the Academy's honor alive. You have my word. Pleased with the answer, he nodded, but Shan Yue spoke up. Don't forget Dong Yuan Academy. They have full support from the governor's office. Their top student right now is Si Kong'e, the governor's son, Si Kong'e. His talent is basically on par with Chinger. This year's exam is going to be brutal for us. Lan Feng turned to leave. If they want to steal our title, they will have to get through my house first. Let them try. Shan Yue shook his head. Keep acting tough. Let us see how you feel when you actually lose. After the draw with Fen, Li Luo was locked into the top 20. Usually, those top students would fight for a higher rank. But when Shan Yue asked if he wanted to climb higher, Li Luo just said no. Who has time for that? Wouldn't it be better to spend my time upgrading my water palace before the big final exam? The battle for the top 20 ended the next day. In the end, 2 students from the second house made the cut, Li Luo and Zhao Kuo. After the trials, Nanfeng Academy gave everyone a week off. Students could go home or stay and train. Li Luo did not hesitate for a second. He headed straight home. Back at his place, he got to work, absorbing spirit water to boost his power. Opening his eyes, he sighed. That was the last bottle from this batch. Kaiwei helped him buy 5th-grade spirit liquids, but it cost over 400,000 gold. If Kaiwei had not sold off some of the Luolan house's local properties, she literally could not afford to keep him fed. These days, Kaiwei would not even eat breakfast at the old house. Li Luo was about to speak up and ask a quick question, but she shut him down immediately. No, she said. She was probably terrified he would ask for another 20 bottles of spirit water. Li Luo got it. She is a top-tier manager, Having to constantly sell off family assets just to keep the lights burning in Tianshu Prefecture? That has got to be a massive stain on her professional record. Poor girl is struggling. Since Kai Wei had not quit yet, Li Luo figured she must have a heart as big as the ocean. He laughed to himself. A bit later, he showed up at the Sun Creek workshop. He hid behind a bookshelf and peeked out. Kai Wei and Yanqing had already spotted him. "Young master," Kai Wei called. Li Luo walked over. "What is the talk today?" Kai Wei answered, "We are discussing Sun Creek's income for the year." Li Luo's brow furrowed. "Is the money bad?" Yanqing quickly replied, "Two shops are fighting over the first grade market. One is our green emerald water, the other is sunshine grade. Both products have basically the same quality, which makes it tough. Together, they control nearly 80% of the first grade market. But lately, the quality of the sunshine liquids from the Song family's shop has spiked. Their average purity is hitting our highest levels now. For Sun Creek, this is a massive blow. More importantly, if this keeps up, we are going to lose the entire first-grade spirit water market to the Song family for good." The room went dead silent until Kai Wei broke the tension. She said, "Our monthly output is 150 bottles. A bottle of first-grade water goes for 50,000 gold. Profit is about 30,000 gold. So, per year, the total income for Sun Creek from first-grade spirit water hits around 90,000 gold. That is a lot of cash on the line." Li Luo was impressed. "Not bad, Kai Wei. You have really done your homework. So why did the quality of the Song family's product suddenly shoot up like that? Any ideas?" Yan Qing broke it down. "Three things affect quality: the formula, experience, and the caster's raw power. Then there is the quality of the raw materials. After some analysis, I think the Song family hired a master to give them an edge." Kai Wei cut in. "Plus, that guy Pei Hao has been using this as an excuse to attack Yanqing. He is saying this whole mess is her fault. He wants her kicked out of Sun Creek." For some reason, Yanqing just glared at Kai Wei's chest with a look of pure, concentrated frustration. She clenched her fists. Suddenly, Kai Wei looked like she had just had a revelation. Then they both glared at Li Luo like they wanted to eat him alive. He put on a serious face and said, "When we are talking shop, cut the distractions. You are adults now. If it happens again, I am calling you both out." "Is that Trang Yi guy still causing drama?" At the mention of Trang Yi, Ling Kan looked pissed. "That guy is a straight-up menace, causing non-stop drama and infighting. Product quality is tanking this year, and you can bet it is all his fault." Li Luo frowned. "We need serious cash right now, so we cannot afford any screw-ups. This guy is a total liability. We need to find a way to push him out." Tai Vi felt stuck. The branch is a total mess and Lin Kan just does not have enough clout yet. Kicking him out now would cause a riot, especially since he has got Bui Hao backing him up. Li Luo had a major headache. "This guy is literally trying to kill my cash flow. They already snatched the house seal from me. This place is a total money pit," he muttered. "But Bui Hao is already a heavy hitter and he is too smart to slip up. For now, we stay low and hide behind Thon Nga to level up." Suddenly, a messenger rushed in. "The deputy manager and vice president Nan are calling a meeting. Vice President Trang Yi just summoned every manager in the branch to talk shop, and he wants all three of you there. Speak of the devil and he appears." Everyone groaned because they knew this guy was looking for a fight. They headed straight to the meeting room. Inside the hall, Tai Vi and Lin Kan froze. Standing there was Deng Bin, a big-shot elder from headquarters. He has been around since the founders first built this place, so his street cred is off the charts. But this old guy is notoriously stubborn and old school. He is like a piece of dry gristle, tough and annoying. Usually, he hangs out at the Royal Capital headquarters. Him showing up here now? Yeah, that definitely smells like trouble. Deng Bin nodded. "Greetings, young master." Li Luo kept it polite, but Deng Bin cut to the chase. "Profits in the Skytree province are trash. Headquarters sent me to investigate and finally settle who is in charge here." His face went cold as stone. "Vice President Nan, I have been looking at the data. Your first-tier refining room is failing miserably lately. It is hurting our name in the province. What have you got to say for yourself?" Lin Khan did not flinch. You want to know why? Maybe you should ask Vice President Trang Yi over there. He knows exactly what is up. Trang Yi looked smug, but Lin Khan grit her teeth. If you had not been secretly sabotaging my supply chain and blocking our raw materials, we would not be in this mess. We cannot even work. He just shrugged with a smirk. Look, the house's situation around here is already garbage, and those three rival families are constantly breathing down our necks. The third-tier room brings in all the cash, and we need to play nice with those families for supplies. Obviously, the moneymakers get priority on materials, right? Quiet, Dung Bin barked. You both have excuses, but I do not give a damn. I only care about the bottom line and the profits of this branch. Anyone who messes with our earnings or trashes our brand is dead to me. The whole room went dead silent. Everyone was shaking in their boots from his intense vibe. Li Luo spoke up. So, Elder Deng, who do you think should actually be the boss here? Deng Bin started to explain the standard protocols, making that old fox Trang Yingyi smirk. Deng Bin ignored him and kept going. Those are the old rules. But if the young master has a better idea, I am all ears. Do not take it personally, kid. Everything I do is for the good of the house. Li Luo realized this guy was not actually out to get them. At least he did not sound like one of Bui Hao's paid goons. So, he asked, is it basically a competition? Whoever runs the top-performing refining room gets the big chair. Exactly, Deng Bin replied. Li Luo grinned. Sounds like a plan. Let's do it. Everyone in the room looked at him like he had totally lost his mind. Trang Yi laughed. Now the kid is thinking about the big picture. More profit for the branch means more cash for you, right? Deng Bin scowled and asked again, are you absolutely sure about this? He just nodded and turned to leave. Once he, Tai Vi, and Lin Khan were out of the room, Lin Khan finally snapped and started demanding answers. Li Luo, what the hell was that? That deal is a total trap for me. If you want me gone, just say the word and I will pack my bags for the capital. Tai Vi looked worried too. The young master usually has a plan, but honestly, this move makes absolutely zero sense to me right now. Li Luo just laughed. Relax, girls, I am not an idiot. Do you not see it? This is the perfect chance to officially make Lin Khan the boss. Tai Vi froze. Wait, you actually have a plan to win? Lin Khan was still skeptical. Seriously? What can you possibly do? You have barely even started learning the basics of resonance tech. Li Luo explained it slowly. Right now, our green jade water is getting wrecked by the competition. Sales are tanking. If things stay like this, the first-tier room is going down in flames, not moving up. So, Lin Khan muttered, you are basically just living in a fantasy world. Look, I told you before, there are three things that affect the water. My own skills are already at the limit, and leveling up my actual power or experience overnight? Yeah, that is not going to happen. Tai Vi jumped in. Wait, did you not already hit 60% purity with your last batch? Lin Khan just pushed up her glasses and looked annoyed. Even if he did, how much can one guy realistically produce on his own? She kept going. Pure quality usually depends on the user's natural talent, unless you happen to have some super secret high-level formula stashed away. Those top-tier formulas are guarded like state secrets, and we definitely do not have any. Li Luo just grinned. We do not need them. Check this out. Want to give it a shot? Lin Khan did not even look. I already told you, kid, some random substitute is not going to change anything. Before she could finish, Li Luo popped the lid. Lin Khan's eyes nearly fell out of her head. She just stood there as the sunlight hit the bottle. She held the bottle up, shaking with excitement. There are 0 impurities in here. This is a top-level secret formula. The purity is at a 7th grade water resonance level. She could not believe her own eyes. She grabbed his shoulder and stammered, how on earth did you get your hands on something this high quality? Li Luo gave a sheepish laugh to calm her down. Lin Khan's confidence surged instantly. With a formula this pure, we can keep the strength at 60% and absolutely destroy the competition. He started doing the math for his get-rich-quick plan. If I bring you a fresh batch every 3 days, will that make our room the top earner? She switched into full expert mode. If we have enough of this stuff, we can literally double our production speed. Lin Khan glanced ahead, deep in thought. She figured this had to be a secret stash left behind by the two founders specifically for Li Luo. Kai Wei leans in, whispering that the young lord is basically a human lucky charm for our house. Now that things are chill, she is dying to get back to the grind. All right, time to get to work. Make more enhanced spirit water this week. Go away, stop bugging me. Before leaving, he remembers something big and calls out. She sighs like a tired mom dealing with a toddler. Young lord, if you keep spending like this, we are going broke. He pleads with puppy eyes. Last batch of grade 5 water. I swear. Li Luo looks so pathetic, she finally caves. Fine, whatever. I guess I will just sell off 2 more of our businesses then. Kai Wei goes quiet, lost in thought. With my skills, I never thought I would have to sell the furniture just to keep the lights on. Li Luo's eyes light up. Time flies by, and suddenly we are back at school. He is grinding like a beast, working non-stop for days. Half his time is spent leveling up his skills. The other half? Constant combat practice. He has finally locked it in, crafting 1 bottle of top-tier first-grade spirit water every single day. While waiting for his equipment to evolve, a massive surprise hits. His power level jumps way ahead of schedule, straight into the 7th seal state. Ling Qing is hyped while checking the inventory. Thanks to the boss man, they used to only make 5 bottles of the good stuff daily. Now they are hitting 10 bottles, and the quality is a solid 60% pure fire. But Li Luo's still sweating the cash. It's still a far cry from the 210,000 gold those tier 3 guys are pulling. Kai Wei just gives him a confident look. Relax. Leave the marketing to me. Curious, he asks. All right, big sister, what is the plan? She explains that the Golden Dragon House is looking for premium grade 1 water. And the best part? They are paying way over market price. Then she drops the real tea. Golden Dragon has massive clout. Whoever they pick becomes the gold standard in the whole county. That kind of hype? You can't put a price on that reputation. It is everything. He nods, totally sold on the idea. Kai Wei adds that the Golden Dragon House is always packed. It is literally the hottest spot in Nanfeng City. Outside, a few shadows are hanging around. An assistant pops up and politely leads the way. Chairman Liu is with a client. Have a seat. He will be right with you. Suddenly, Qinger walks out looking like a straight-up movie star. Young lord, she calls out. With a slight blush, she asks what brings a big shot like him to the bank. Li Luo plays it cool. Just here to talk shop with Chairman Liu. She looks skeptical. For grade 1 water? Since when does the boss handle small fry stuff? Inside, he is basically crying. She has no idea how hard the struggle is for a fallen lord. Sensing the awkward vibe, Kai Wei jumps in. Wow, you are absolutely gorgeous. I bet you have guys lining up all over school. Don't you? Is our young lord on that list too? Li Luo nearly chokes on his own spit hearing that. Without missing a beat, Qinger turns to lead them. Come on, I will take you to see my uncle. He is actually with the Song family right now, probably talking about grade 1 water. He worries. Won't we be crashing their meeting? She keeps walking, totally unbothered. Relax, they haven't reached a deal yet anyway. Look, I can get you in the door, but if you want my uncle to change his mind, your spirit water better actually be as good as you say. Li Luo is suddenly hyped. Of course, I do things by the book. I don't need family favors or backroom deals to win. Hearing that, Qinger just gives a little smirk. As they are walking, they spot someone leaning against the wall. Wen Feng? What is he doing here? Wen Feng spots them and narrows his eyes. Qinger, why'd you bring this guy here? Qinger doesn't even flinch. Li Luo already has an appointment with my uncle. I am just showing him the way. Li Luo thinks to himself. Man, pretty girls really are the best liars. Respect. Wen Feng just glares. Don't waste your breath, Li Luo. Your little shop can't touch what the Song family brings. He just shrugs and walks right past him. Don't be so sure. Remember when you thought I couldn't even keep up with you? How'd that work out? They walk into the lounge and Qinger announces them. Uncle, The guests from House Luo Lam are here. Chairman Lu looks like he just got caught red-handed. Oh, right. Please. Have a seat. The head of the Song family sits nearby, eyes narrowing. Chairman Lu? Mind telling me what exactly is going on here? Lu starts sweating bullets and forced a laugh. Now, Master Song, don't get the wrong idea. We are just all about keeping the peace and making money together. Look, grade 1 spirit water might be low tier, but the Song Patriarch cuts him off. In this county, nobody makes better grade 1 stuff than we do. Period. End of story. If you think those guys are a better choice, just say so. We will leave. Lu panics. Master Song, don't be like that. Your product is top tier. Everyone knows that. If your batch really is the best at the end of the day, I will personally apologize to you. Suddenly, Kai Wei cuts in with a sharp question. Chairman Lu, doesn't their spirit water only hit around 50 or 60% purity? The Song Patriarch scoffs. This steward sure talks a big game. Kai Wei doesn't blink. She sets a bottle on the table. Ours used to be 52%. But things have changed. Meet our new, enhanced formula. The room goes dead silent. The Song Patriarch's face drops. 60%? You are claiming it's a 60% pure batch? He shakes his head, skeptical. This had to be made by a Tier 4 master. There is no way you can guarantee a steady supply of this quality. Li Luo just grins, radiating pure confidence. Don't worry about the quality. House Luo Lam is a massive empire, after all. Pick our water, and I guarantee a steady supply. Plus, the potency is Lu finally breathes a sigh of relief. Young lord, you really are something else. You're a natural talent. Master Song, I'm sorry, but it looks like we can't do business this time. The Song Patriarch looks calm, but he is fuming inside. No worries, Chairman. There is always next time. Peace out. Once the Song guy is gone, Lu rushes over. Young lord, let's get that contract signed before anything else happens. After finishing the paperwork, the three of them head out. Chinger beams. Congrats on the massive deal. Young lord, Li Luo nods. Thanks to you, this would have been a nightmare otherwise. Then, she gets serious. But listen, you really need to focus all your energy on the upcoming school entrance exams. Missing out on Sage College would be a huge disaster. If you have time, let's spar and see where you're at. He immediately waves her off. No way. You are way too strong. I'm not being your punching bag. Chinger looks a little bummed. All right then. Meanwhile, inside a carriage far away, Wenfeng is absolutely losing it. He was pacing, basically begging for answers. Is it true? Can Shi Yang House really churn out 60% purity spirit liquid? My sister literally hired a master refiner just to tweak the formula, and even then, she barely hit 5.6%. Master Song stayed cool, acting like he'd already planned the whole thing. Just wait and see, he said. Then he let a secret slip. Your sister just sent a message. She is coming back soon. Finally, Master Song added one more important thing. In 2 days, I am visiting the governor's mansion. His son is the top dog at Dong Yuan Academy, so you two should probably get together and socialize a bit more. Inside the conference hall, the big players were gathered. The vibe was heavy, totally serious. Then some guy walks in, looking half guilty, and says, Sorry, my bad for being late. Zhuang Yi offered a lame excuse. My refining room is slammed lately, trying to pump out more spirit liquid. Time is basically running out for us. He sat down and cut straight to the chase. Look, I called this meeting because we need to settle who is taking the empty chairman's seat over at Xia Yang House once and for all. Everyone started buzzing like there was some major drama. Look, isn't the decision already made? We judge people by their results. And so far, things aren't exactly looking great for Deputy Chairman Nan, are they? Li Luo stopped the chatter. He raised his hand and just dropped it. I have got the results right here. Zhuang Yi got all hyped up and asked, Are you saying I won? He didn't even wait for an answer before throwing shade, asking if Vice Chairman Yan had finally decided to just give up. Ling Kan snapped. Give up? Keep dreaming, old man. Kai Wei slapped a file on the table. We just signed a long-term deal with Golden Dragon Bank for the spirit liquid. Dang Bin grabbed the file, totally stunned. 60% purity? He couldn't believe his eyes, stuttering. Are you kidding me? How on earth could Xia Yang House possibly produce spirit liquid with 60% purity? Zhuang Yi felt like he got hit by lightning. He thought Li Luo was being suicidal. He slammed the table. Does the young lord not get it? Even the manager should know 60% is impossible. Zhuang Yi stood up, growling. You expect the third-grade refining room to handle this? Li Luo played it cool like a final boss. Relax, vice chairman. We will not need a single one of your third-grade masters for this contract. Dang Bin went into interrogation mode. Our first-grade room cannot do that. Without a word, Li Luo slammed a gold chest onto the table. The lid flipped open, glowing like a crazy commercial. That was the old us, he said confidently. He held the tester, listening to the pitch. This is the new, beefed-up spirit liquid Xia Yang House is dropping. Li Luo made sure to highlight the main point. 60% purity, guaranteed every time. 40 bottles are already at Golden Dragon Bank, and we have 10 left. Kai Wei sounded like a pro analyst, predicting that production for this upgraded version was only going to go up. In total value, Zhuang Yi still wasn't buying it. He yelled out, an upgraded version? How could a first-grade room like ours possibly produce spirit liquid with 60% purity? That is just impossible. Li Luo gave the signal to start the magic show. Manager, pull those curtains back so everyone can see. She drew them aside, letting everyone check the facts for themselves. Take a look. Through this window, you can see straight into the first-grade refining room. Go ahead, see the truth with your own eyes. Sunlight flooded the room where a crowd of first-grade refiners were working like crazy. They were already gathering the fresh spirit liquid to bring it straight to the hall. No matter how hard it was to believe, the truth was right there in front of them. Dang Bin finally smiled and made the call. Fine, then it is official. Lin Kan is the new chairman of Xia Yang House in Tianshu. Lin Kan and Kai Wei cheered and high-fived. Under the starlight and a full moon, a shout rang out. Bottoms up. She downed her beer in one go. The other girl slammed her glass down, grinning at him. Li Luo, as long as you can keep providing that secret source of yours, I will make sure the spirit liquid from Xi Yang House becomes the absolute strongest in this entire county. Li Luo watched the beer almost spill over. Fine, I will do my best to keep it coming. Cheers erupted outside the mansion. To our success and a bright future. Over the next few days, Li Luo spent less time at the shop. Since break was coming, he had to focus on the big academy exams. Back in Namfang at the governor's mansion, two men sat alone together at a massive table. Si Jing sounded polite, but his face looked like trouble. Master Song, I have been wanting to invite you over for a while. Master Song gave a forced smile. Si Jing's eyes were sharp, probing him about his recent moves. You have been busy lately. I bet you have taken a huge bite out of Luo Lan House, haven't you? He acted humble, saying it was all thanks to the governor. The sun was out, but the vibe got tense when the topic turned back to Luo Lan House. It is a pity about Luo Lan House. If those two hadn't vanished, that place would probably be leading all 5 major houses by now. Si Jing squinted. They stood out way too much. Now, Luo Lan House is barely hanging on, so your family needs to seize this chance. Master Song bowed immediately, thanking the governor for the tip and promising to always remember the favor. Outside, the sun was blazing. A tall guy stood all alone by the lake, watching the fish rise to grab the food he was tossing into the water. This handsome guy feeding the fish was the governor's son, Si Kong. Someone appeared behind him. Even without looking, Si Kong knew exactly what they were here for, the upcoming academy exams. I already told my old man I would help Dong Yuan Academy take the top spot in the whole county. Van Fong agreed instantly. With your strength, it is a total lock. But Si Kong's smile turned creepy. Those kids at Namfang Academy aren't exactly pushovers. If we face them, they might actually be a real problem. He turned around. He kept smiling but made it clear he hates risks. I might need you to help me with a few things during the exams. Van Fong looked shocked. Wait, are you asking me to betray my own academy? Sai Kong brushed it off. That is a bit harsh, don't you think? He explained to Van Fong that the academy was just a small stop on their long path to gaining real power. Besides, this is my father's call. He has got some history and an old grudge with that principal. Sai Kong closed his eyes, still grinning. Don't worry, I will make it worth your while. Van Fong stayed quiet, then finally nodded and closed his eyes too. Sunlight filters through the leaves, hitting them both. He pivots the conversation with a smirk. So, I heard Lee finally unlocked his soul power. Word is he even fought you to a draw recently. Van Fong scowls, his voice dripping with annoyance. It was just a fluke, nothing more. During the grand exam, he won't even get close to a tie. Su Kong closes his eyes, soaking in the breeze. Well, that is a real shame. He replies bluntly, not holding back at all. Why would we even need to bother Master Su Kong with this? When the opportunity finally shows up, I am going to handle that guy all by myself. The sun blazes even harder now, making their silhouettes glow against the intense afternoon light. His face stays calm, but his words are sharp as glass. Fine by me. I have only seen the guy a few times, but I already cannot stand him. Van Fong glances over at Su Kong while a small beetle crawls toward his boot. The story keeps unfolding as the tension rises in the air. Years ago, my father actually tried to arrange a marriage between me and Thoningya. Su Kong's expression turns dark, his eyes burning with pure hatred. Too bad their son is such a useless loser. He slowly lifts his foot, ready to crush that poor beetle into the dirt. Death shadows the beetle. Can it keep its wings? Meanwhile, at the Luolan estate, massive towers stand tall against the skyline. A magic sphere forms, swirling with intense pulses of golden and blue energy. Li Luo hurls the magic orb forward. He covers his face, peeking through one eye to watch. It worked. He cheers. Shimmering lights mix like a starry sky. By adding light energy to his water bullet technique, the speed is not just faster, it is incredible. Plus, it lets out a blinding flash to mess with enemies. This upgraded water bullet, I am officially calling it the Water Light Bullet. He is grinding hard, studying and gathering info for the upcoming grand exam. Aside from his usual training, he perfected that Water Light Bullet. Li Luo kicks back, hands behind his head. My grade 5 spirit liquid is almost gone. Progressing this fast is great, but man, I am burning through cash way too quickly. A blueprint for a glowing golden magic circle flashes through his mind. Reaching grade 7 will cost 6 million gold. That is basically a whole year's income for the Luo Lan house. But once I hit the general stage, I can unlock my second soul. I might not match a grade 9 yet, but I will be strong enough for team battles. Li Luo picks up a red scroll tied shut with a bright golden string. Time to start this new cultivation method. Mysterious Burst Breath. It is top tier and requires a grade 6 soul. A strange green magic aura wraps around his body. For the next 2 days, Li Luo pours every bit of energy into mastering this new technique. The scenery outside the castle remains the same until the very last day of the break. Someone appears outside calling for the young lord. The air is sunny and breezy as Li Luo's voice rings out. Hey, Kai Wei. I heard that the soul tool is finally finished. Is that right? Kai Wei gestures toward a box on the table. I sent someone to let you know I was coming. Go ahead, take a look at it for yourself. Inside the box sit 2 exquisitely carved daggers, one blue and one gold. Soul tools have different ranks. Usually, they are common, but anything higher than that is considered a treasure tool. Treasure tools are much more powerful and rare compared to common ones. Their price is also insane, way higher than the average gear. This set is decent quality, but it is not quite at that treasure level yet. Li Luo grabs the blades and gives them a few test swings. Not bad. These will do. I will call the blue one the water blade and the other the sun blade. Kai Wei asks, your big exam is coming up soon, right? Are you feeling ready? He reassures her with total confidence. Do not worry, Kai Wei. I have a very good reason why I cannot lose. Scene change. The break is over. Li Luo and Zhao Kuo are summoned by Shan Yue to meet at the elder's private residence. During their chat, Li Luo learns that Zhao Kuo finally reached the 7th stage. Lots of people are gathered here. A voice rings out, catching everyone's attention. Looks like everyone has finally arrived.